You're absolutely out of your mind. I think it's absurd. I think it's an abomination. I think it's a disgrace. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? You're a jackass. Embrace the madness.
Good afternoon, everybody. Although by the time you're listening to this, it'll be morning, but that's okay.
A couple days later.
This is the next episode of The Madness, episode 73. I go to Jessica Town for that, as always. She is joining me with her wonderful light in the studio.
Leave my light alone.
Okay, I am Rob Lange. We are your every week Ministers of Madness, but one of our favorite Ministers of Madness, who is back here because he could fit us into his busy schedule.
That college thing.
The very famous Patrick McMahon. Patrick, welcome, man. We miss you.
Thank you.
I need you here, Patrick, because when you're not here, I get all of her anger. At least you can
divide it up a little
bit. It makes it so much easier on me when you're here, because Jess can't just. I mean, she will. She's giving me the look of death already. Like, how dare you? But
how dare you say mean things about me when I'm wearing a shirt with your tagline on it? That's rude.
Get to the shirt. I mean, come on. This is how we start the show. Start with an argument, but no, we will move on. We are, as always, brought to you by ProSportsNotes.com, powered by WildfireRadio.com. You can catch us Friday mornings over at Wildfire Radio, 9 to 11, streaming on their website. You can catch us on YouTube by searching The Madness Podcast. We've got to have like 10 episodes up there at least now, right?
Something like that, yeah.
All right, so you can catch and see all of our beautiful faces, and then my face on top of that. So it's a wonderful world for you.
Your face is beautiful too, Rob.
Thank you, Jess. See, that was the nicest thing I think you've ever said to me.
Yeah, well,
it must be because
it's
Valentine's Day weekend. It's all the love is being shared. Speaking of love, to show your love for the person that you love, go over to shop.prosportsnotes.com. Couple new shirts up there. Jess is wearing one, the hashtag Jackass shirt. It's a wonderful shirt. I don't know if you want to buy that for the person you love. They may get the wrong idea.
They may get the wrong. There's one with the love statue on it.
Yes, there's one with the love statue. You can go buy.
Madness.
There's our All-Star shirt that Jess needed to have out there, as Ben Simmons is the first.
It's fantastic. Honestly, today my mom looked at it. I got it in the mail yesterday. My mom was like,
it's a tremendous shirt.
Proud of that.
It's a tremendous shirt. And we do thank Jess's mom. Jess, give your mom a plug, will you?
She's the best. She does great work. She's a graphic designer, but also has started working on, I don't even know what to call it. She's doing this form of art where she does all these fun things with paints, and there's sand involved somehow, but it's awesome. You can follow her on Instagram at mulberrymoon_design. I think that's it. I want to say that's it. It's a new Instagram.
Hell of a plug. We don't even know what to look at.
It just started. I think it's Mulberry Moon Design. It has to be. But anyway.
But she's been the designer of our last 4 or 5 shirts that we've put out there. And by the way, we always say shirts, but it's shirts, notebooks, stickers, coffee mugs, you name it, you can get it. Shop.prosportsnotes.com. Get over there, buy yours today. I have to get my Jackass shirt. I was a little broke the last couple weeks, have to recoup the funds, and then I can go out and buy the shirts.
Always.
Although
I had just recouped the funds. That's why.
Yeah. Although having daughters that are now 3 for Valentine's Day and they expect gifts, this is not fun.
Nope.
I went to the store today.
Imagine what happens if you have another one.
I went to it's going to be a boy. 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 I'm just going to keep putting it out there.
Speak it into existence.
But it's funny because I went to the candy store today because last night I was not home. And apparently when my wife got home with the girls, they were very disappointed. Ariana especially. Freaking out, crying. I called. She continued to cry.
Because you weren't there?
Because I wasn't there. And I felt loved. But I said, would you like me to bring you something tomorrow? And very angrily, she said, I want candy buttons. I said, okay. I don't know where I will find candy buttons, but I'm going to find them. And I did. And Ella wanted candy corn in February. Go over to Deptford Mall, go to their sweet candy store. It's got it all. So I bought them that, bought them their Valentine's Day gifts, spent way more money than I ever expect to spend at a candy store. So that was my morning.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was great.
That's great. Love that.
But now that we're done that talk, let's get to sports, because that's what we do here on The Madness. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at RunThisTown13.
Town with an E.
Town with an E. Sorry.
It's not
You're
your
right.
fault.
At
Just
Philly_Madness.
throw it out there.
On Instagram. Is Instagram or at Philly_Madness?
Yes.
Patrick? Yes. Patrick, give everybody your Twitter. People need to start following your Twitter.
Well, I don't really tweet all that much, but
get the hell on it, will you?
My Twitter is Pat__man MAHON.
He loves a double underscore.
The first one was taken. So.
Hey, I can't be mad
Just
at
the
you.
one.
Just the one was taken. So make sure you're following us, and make sure the 1,600 followers that Jess has follow at Philly_Madness. I don't know. That'd be a cool idea. Speaking of which, Jess, why don't you tell them what we're going to do as we try and build our following?
So we're going to have a little contest. When we get to our 500th Instagram follower, that we're going to do just a random drawing, and someone is going to win a free item from our store of their choice of design, if they want a shirt or a notebook or what have you.
Or a sticker. Apparently that's a cool thing to have these days.
Stickers are awesome.
Yeah.
Look at Patrick's laptop.
Patrick has all kinds of stickers on there. You know, and there it is. I was just going to say, I really hope to see the Madness sticker right in between Barstool and The Process.
Love it.
Which is right where we should be.
And then when we're going to do the same thing for our Twitter. Once we reach our 1,000th Twitter follower, we'll do the same thing. Randomly select someone in there, and they'll win the same thing. But you have to tell your friends to follow us.
Yes,
you have to follow us. Tell your friends to follow us. Your family. I don't even care who it is.
Over the course of the last week, we've gained some followers on Twitter. We're closing in on 700, which is very nice. Thank you for the 700 of you. But we want to get that up. So as we get towards that 1,000 number, we'll do a random drawing there and get you guys a shirt, whatever you want. You know, you want a hat? Tell me you want a hat. I'll see if I can make you a hat. I don't care. We'll figure this out.
We'll figure it
out. So a lot of stuff in Philadelphia sports. Phillies are headed down the Clearwater. Not with Bryce Harper, as Bryce Harper's just not doing anything, and we'll talk about that. It is now officially the NFL offseason, and you already have moves going on in the NFL, and I think it's time to start discussing what we want to see our Birds of Philadelphia do going forward, and some tweets that have gone out, and were they angry tweets or whatever they might have been from one Golden Tate.
They were angry.
I don't know if it was. See, I looked at it in a different way.
Oh, okay.
I looked at it a different way. I looked at it in a more positive, upbeat way.
That's new.
Because that's just who I am. I'm Mr. Optimistic.
That's not true. I am.
Oh, because you said the Eagles were going to make the playoffs after they freaking got smoked by the Saints.
Rob said in week 5 that the season was over.
That's not true. That's such an abomination of the truth.
Okay,
you
maybe
sound like
what was
you sound
it,
like the man living at 1600 Pennsylvania Boulevard with the way that you just took this truth out. That's the White House.
I was going to say, isn't it Avenue?
Whatever. Boulevard Avenue. I don't care. Yeah. That's what you sound like when you try and take my truth.
Don't ever compare
and embellish it. See,
I will leave the show immediately.
I knew I'd get to you with that.
I will leave. I will leave the show.
I pressed the button.
I will leave the show.
I pressed
for
the
good.
button. I will never say it again, but
there it is.
Don't stretch my words. And then obviously we'll spend a good portion of the second half of the show. Sixers trade deadline. A couple of the bench pieces they added, saying goodbye to Markelle Fultz. And what they've done since then, which has gone 2-1, although that one was a loss to Boston, something none of us want to see. So, let's start with our boys that have just headed down the Clearwater.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Philadelphia Phillies head down right before we came on the air for the recording today. Aaron Nola avoids arbitration, gets a 4-year, $45 million deal.
Yeah, with an option.
So I was glad to see that. I didn't like the fact that they were going to arbitration with him. You never want to see the guys that you consider star players have to go through that whole thing.
Yeah.
So they avoid that, spend some money there, and hopefully that's not the only money they're spending this week. And we'll get into all that talk. But what I was having this conversation with somebody today. What is your excitement level of spring training? You guys get excited?
I'm more excited than I have been the last couple of years, I'd say. I'm more excited than I was going into last year or any of the couple seasons before that, just because I feel like, regardless of the fact that they had, they fell off the way they did towards the end of the season and didn't make the playoffs. I mean, they have, they have made moves to address some of their issues. And, whether it be the trade for Gene Segura or adding Andrew McCutchen or trading for Real Muto or
which I just realized we talked about the rumors on Wednesday.
and it happened the next day.
And it happened the next day. So we actually haven't had a chance to talk about that.
Right.
So, we'll do that
So, and trading for him, getting him in here. Is it Robertson or Robinson? Which one do we decide? I think it's David Robertson.
I think it's Robertson.
Adding him in as a reliever. It just like they've done things that they're going to be able to move Rhys Hoskins back to first base. They're doing things that are showing that they want to compete now. They're done with this rebuild thing. They want to go in there to win now. And I think that in itself it makes it a little bit more exciting, especially because of some of the stories we've heard about, Odubel Herrera being sat down and told, okay, you didn't come in here in baseball shape last year. You were fat. You need to, you need to not do that again this year. And the fact that it's obvious that he has taken that to heart, and instead of being resistant to that, he took it and has worked with it and tried to improve in that area. Same with Maikel Franco. He's come back. He's absolutely looks, slimmer. And I think that the fact that they're starting to buy into it as well, the guys that have been here through some of this mess, they're starting to really believe in it. And I think there's more excitement leading into the season because there's more promise leading into the season than there's been. The way they played during stretches last year, that wasn't expected. They were expected to not make the playoffs.
And not only was it not expected, when they were doing it, very few people were like, oh, here we go. Most of us were sitting there going, when's the other shoe going to drop? When's this team going to realize who they actually are and start playing that way? And granted, it went longer than I think a lot of us, I thought it would go, where they were playing real well.
Which is why it was a shame when it dropped off.
And then it really pissed me off because I just was starting to buy in.
Right.
As it all collapsed. And now it's like, I will not be fooled again.
What do you think? Are you excited?
I'm more excited about this year. Usually, I don't get excited about spring training. I've gone down to spring training.
That's something I've never done.
Really?
Never gone down to spring training.
I think you would be one that would have done that.
Well, I think part of the issue is the last 8 years of my life, I've been a teacher, so it's really hard to do that in the middle of March. And prior to that, my money was always go on the Eagles trip, and it was tough to try and do both. But it's something I want to do desperately.
Gotcha.
Just go take a spring training trip and drink a lot and have fun.
Okay, well, yeah.
I'm putting it out there.
Why not?
I think that we went down there. It was sort of like a side trip. We went down to go to Disney. And
we did the same thing.
And then we went and caught a game.
I'm such a Disney freak. I don't know if I could actually leave Disney to go to.
Well, we started there.
Okay.
And then went to Disney.
Fair enough.
So
That's valid. That's valid. I don't know if I can do it the other way. Okay.
But I really just get excited for opening day. It's fun to see spring training games sort of, but you half the names that you don't even know and
I used to like spring training when it's 10 degrees outside. Or opening day, I mean.
Yeah.
I should say. Yeah. And now I feel like the last 5 opening days have been so cold. It's been unbelievable. I have so much trouble getting pumped up for spring training. Even more so than preseason. And maybe it's because spring training, it's every day they're playing the University of Tampa. And then it's a split squad game. And then I don't even know what to follow during spring training. For me, it's a tough thing to follow.
I don't think
on a daily basis.
I don't think it's that I'm excited for spring training. I think it's just I'm excited about the potential of the season.
Well,
so I think that what'd you say?
There is potential. You're right.
Yeah. So I think that's more what I'm excited about, and I'm excited about the fact that it's starting to come together, and you'll see. The chances of me sitting and actually watching a spring training game on TV are quite low. I'm not gonna lie, but seeing the different highlights and glimmers of things that the Phillies might be able to do in the regular season, that's what I'm excited about. And I'm excited about it starting up, I guess. Same thing with the Eagles. I'm not excited about a preseason game, but I'm excited when training camp starts. I'm excited to see some of the videos that come out of it. I'm excited to see the potential of the team that's going to be leading into the season.
Yeah, I have trouble. This is a conversation I was having earlier today. I said, even when the Phillies are good, I have trouble telling myself that night in and night out for 162 games, I'm going to tune in and watch all 9 innings. I can't do it. Right. I can't do it. Is there a good chance that I will at least check in almost every night where I'm sitting at home? But I'm not changing plans for them. Whereas, now granted, I used to say that about the Sixers. Can I change plans and watch all 82 games? It's been damn close this year. This year, I've made it a point that You know, if I'm missing a game, I'm putting it on the radio,
Yeah.
or I'm following it online.
Watching the game cast. I was at dinner on Friday with one of my best friends who I haven't had dinner with in
Yeah.
a while, and I had the game cast sitting next to me while
Yeah.
the Nuggets game was going because I was like, this is the first game.
Like
of this
it's
team. Like,
it's gotten to a point this year where Alyssa, my wife at home, has been like, "Hey, are the Sixers on tonight?" And I'll say yes or no. And if I say no, she's like, "Oh, okay, so we can watch one of the." Like she knows I'm watching the Sixers. Like it's must see TV for me every night, whether I'm mad, whether I'm happy, whatever it may be. I just don't know if I'm there at the Phillies yet. And I am pumped about having a catcher like JT Realmuto, a guy who can hit, a guy who can play the position, who's going to be good for a pitching staff, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm really excited that they got him. But I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to say it, and I've been on this from day one. I don't know if I'm fully invested unless Bryce Harper is in the outfield. I just don't know if I can fully get behind it. Part of it's the Phillies' fault, and John Middleton's, and stupid money, and all this other stuff. To me, the only reason he's not signed is you have not offered him the 10-year, $300 million contract. I've been fine with it. You know, you're playing kind of chicken right now. It's time to bite. It's time to swerve the wheel. It's time to give him what he wants. There's no reason at this point, especially now, where spring training is going on and teams are kind of just saying, well, I'm only doing it for a short term, that you don't just make this happen immediately. Like, I don't think they've offered him that. And that bothers me. That bothers me. Everyone's like, oh, well, maybe he doesn't want to play here. Maybe, but you give him 10 years, $300 million, he's going to play here. And don't give me the, oh, well, it's such a terrible contract. So before the end of it, you get rid of him. I mean, that's, you know, you give him the money up front.
right.
To me, it's a no-brainer at this point.
I agree with it being a no-brainer. I'm just so tired. I'm so tired.
I'm so tired of the whole thing.
I'm so tired. I'm so done. I don't want to hear about Bryce Harper anymore. I don't even care about Manny Machado at this point.
No, I could care less about it.
I literally just don't care.
Just go to the White Sox or the Yankees and move on.
I just want it to be over. At this point, I mean, like, it's going to hurt so much more if he picks another team. The only team that it won't hurt if he picks is if he goes back to the Nationals. Like, I'm
That'll
like,
be
okay.
annoying, though.
Yeah, but you're
That
not...
you took this long to just go back.
Right, but okay, what would you rather happen? Him go play for the Yankees, the Giants, or the Nationals if he's not going to come here?
I friggin' hate the Giants, even though they're like...
You would rather him just go back to the Nationals.
Yeah, I mean, if that's a
So
choice.
with that, I could just be like, okay, well, you drew it all the way out for that. Okay. But if he draws it all the way out this long, we have all this hope, and he goes to the Yankees or the Giants, I'm going to be upset. Upset.
Well, what was frustrating was a couple of weeks ago when it looked like he was making his decision. I will never buy MLB The Show again for the crap that they pulled to let me know that Bartolo Colon was going to be in their stupid-ass video game. Made me so angry. I will never forgive them for that. I hate
Hear
them
that,
for
MLB The
life.
Show?
I hate
Rob's
you.
upset.
I'm not even bringing you on the Madness. You're not allowed to come on the Madness.
We should
MLB
do
The Show.
another Madness Night Out the night that Chase Utley officially retires.
We should do one all the time. I'm also thinking
June 21st. Everyone write that date down.
June 21st. Oh, my 6-year anniversary of marriage.
Oh, yeah, no, you're not coming to that. Nope.
Well, no. Wait a minute. Time out.
Oh, boy.
This sounds like a night where we bring significant others, where we bring a big group.
You can bring Andrew.
That's messed up. You can bring whoever you want, Patrick. I just am trying to get at the point.
Well, it's funny because a lot of times when we say, oh, you can bring whoever you want, it's like their significant others are each other. This isn't that's not like a shot at Patrick in any way because
Patrick, can you confirm or deny this?
I guess. Yeah.
like we
He's
go
confirming.
to Eagles
confirming.
games and stuff, and my dad's like, yeah, you can bring whoever you want. You can
Okay.
bring your significant other, and he's like, Patrick, you want to go to an Eagles game?
I'm not mad at
And
that.
it's there's
I'm not mad
they're
at
a
that.
little group.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. We'll make it a big group.
We can do that.
Look,
but
I want
you have
meet.
to.
I put
She's
this
going
out
to be
there.
very pregnant then.
Ooh.
She will be very, very pregnant and
There's
probably
the whole
not
pregnancy
thrilled.
factor that's thrown in there. She might. Maybe she wants night out. Night out.
That's
you
okay.
know,
That's on you.
We'll talk. And you know,
I'm going to
I
that
want,
game one way or another.
Listen,
Patrick?
I've been
right.
meaning to put this out here on the air. I want to meet the Town family, all of them.
Okay.
You're all very fun. It seems
can
like.
make that- we are
and I
pretty
want to
fun.
meet them. Maybe it's June 21st, but I do think we need a night out Saturday, March 2nd. You know what Saturday, March 2nd is? Your pop socket team comes to town to play the Philadelphia 76ers.
Do you know how much those tickets are?
We'll make it work. Call your boy Mark Farzetta. He's got to have a contact.
Bruh, do you know how much those tickets are? I've looked. I've checked. They're like $160.
Wait a minute. I'll find a good seat for us.
A good seat. How
mean-
about out in the parking lot?
I mean, cheap.
Oh, I was like, put us in Xfinity Live. That's the seats that we
Well,
can
I mean, we
afford.
could do it that way if you like. That's fine with me.
I would absolutely do that in a heartbeat because upper level $162 is the cheapest price I'm seeing right now, and no, thank you. If I was paying $162 for 2 tickets, that'd be different. I'm paying, which is what I did last time the Warriors came to town. I paid $160 for 2 tickets.
Oh, that's cool.
$162 for 1 ticket? No, thank you.
Oh, awesome. That's fantastic.
What?
Yep, lowest price. $171 each.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay, so we're not going to that game, guys. We're going to go to Xfinity Live and watch it together.
we can do that
That's
100%.
what we need. We need to start doing that. We need to start doing these nights out where we go watch a
That
game.
and the Globetrotters are here the next day, and my Christina, one of my best friends, is dancing at halftime.
Ooh.
So
You know, we once had a Globetrotter on the show.
we did.
We did.
I wasn't here for that.
No. Handles. Chris Handles Franklin. Very good interview. It was actually a lot of fun. And it was during Warriors Cavs part
7.
2. I don't even know.
Part 2. That was still a good matchup at part 2.
Yeah, we won't have to see it ever again. Because guess what? It's not going to happen this year.
No. The
You know
Cavs.
what else is going to happen? LeBron.
LeBron might not even
You
make the playoffs.
loser.
LeBron sucks.
Loser.
Can I tell you how happy I
Jackass.
was on Sunday?
Oh, my God.
Well, we'll get into the Sixers later.
Yeah. All right,
get there.
back to the Phillies. But look, I'm excited. There's reason to be there's reason for excitement with this team. I don't think that their starting rotation is good enough. I really would have liked to see them add another arm, preferably a lefty.
They still
I know,
might.
I
There's
know
like
Dallas
100.
Keuchel's still out there, but the price would have to come down significantly. They're not going to throw a ton of money at him. But if you can go with a Nola, and I'm just going to throw his name in there because it's the only one coming to my head right now, a Keuchel, I guess
Arrieta.
an Arrieta. I don't know if it's Pavetta or or I don't even know who.
Didn't they trade one of them?
Somebody got traded, right?
One of them wasn't one of them included in the Gene Segura trade?
I know that Franco, or not Franco.
It was
I know.
Santana, and didn't they send Eflin or
No,
Pavetta?
they sent J.P. Crawford and Santana, but I don't know if they sent. I know Pavetta's
that
still
up.
on the roster. See that, Patrick? You get back and she's just pointing at you and telling you to look things up right now. It's unbelievable.
He's also really good with baseball stuff.
He is.
I love
But,
that.
I don't know who would be penciled in as their starting rotation right now.
Yeah.
That bothers me. The bullpen is obviously better. I mean, when you add a Robertson and you have another year now with Sir Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Nishak's back there again because I know that he was talked to recently about the state of baseball and this free agency thing. And
Right.
so, I mean, look, they've improved. There's no doubt about it. Andrew McCutchen is an improvement. Gene Segura is an improvement. JT Realmuto, I'm never going to be able to say his name right, so just, I think I'm saying it right.
Is it
I
Real?
think it's Real Muto.
Realmuto? Okay, so I am saying it right.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Is a major improvement from an offensive, Alfaro was a nice defensive catcher.
Yeah, and he had a cannon.
Yeah, and every now and again he would hit a bomb that would leave a stadium, but for the most part he just struck out all the time.
A lot.
All the
A lot.
time. So, I mean, look, they're improved. I'm happy. I need Gabe to show me that he's going to be improved as a manager. I'm pulling for Gabe. It's hypocritical of
And
me.
let me just say, I am as well. Rob likes to say that I don't. I really just don't like. We talked about this before we started recording. I just can't stand his over-the-top positivity. But I think he could be a really good manager, and I think the players really like him, and I want him to do well. He just bothers me. He just rubs me the wrong way. I don't know what it is, but I always have an open mind when we bring in, and we see what happens. We should always have open minds when we bring in coaches to Philadelphia.
Well, and
Doug Peterson.
My whole thing is I don't want to be hypocritical because obviously, and you're going to hear me go on a rant of all rants today, I'm sure.
Can't wait.
When we talk about the
Sixers.
76ers
Yeah.
coach and how he's never won a game, but he's lost every game. So he's
Yes.
0-21 or 0-22 as a coach.
Yes.
On the season, and the team is 35-0 despite him.
Yeah.
When it comes to wins, so that's
Including a win over the Warriors.
including a win
had
over the
nothing to do
Warriors
with
that he
that.
had nothing to do with. But we'll get into that. So I'm not I'm not going to call for Gabe Kapler's job. I'm not going to rip him.
No.
Because in my opinion, there's a difference between criticism and calling for a guy's job, and I don't think a lot of people understand that in the
No,
city.
people don't realize that there are two different things.
You know, because I will criticize Brett Brown a little bit today too.
Yep.
But I'm not going to call for the guy's job. So, you know, so the Phillies, it's exciting, but like I said, I want Bryce Harper here. I've wanted him here. I still want him here. I think he is everything that epitomizes what a Philadelphia athlete is.
I agree.
I think he's a perfect fit here. And we'll see. We'll see. But I do really, before we leave baseball, do want to talk about the idea behind this causing a problem in the future for baseball. This offseason is going to lead to a work stoppage because you have two things going on here.
When is it, 2021? The stoppage would be?
Probably. And my issue is this. The owners are going to be pissed because agents can hold hostage and just hold out till now, where now there's 100 free agents that are still not signed.
Right.
And spring training starting. The players are pissed. Okay, and I want to show you, this is a quote from Pat Neshek, okay, Phillies reliever, on free agents still being out there. It's sad to see. It stinks. They want to go cheaper, the front offices. I think we signed a bad CBA personally. When there's a little disrespect, when the revenues are going up and the portion that's being paid to the players is consistently declining, there's going to be an issue. It's going to get pretty ugly. The smart front offices, a lot of those guys might not have jobs anymore because we're not going to have baseball. It's a respect issue. When players feel disrespected, that's when lockouts and strikes and all this stuff starts to happen. And baseball is moving that direction because, as I said, this is my quote, everyone looks at baseball as America's pastime. The problem is baseball doesn't think they have to get out of the past. And they do. And they have to move with the times. They have to change the game a little bit. They have to speed it up in ways that they can. And they have to understand that if Alex Rodriguez was making $250 million on a contract, what was that, 10, 12 years ago? The number's up to $350 million for those superstars now. And you need to pay it and deal with it and move on with it. You don't have a salary cap, ladies and gentlemen. That's on you. You didn't put the salary cap in there. So you got to understand that these players are not going to play for less than what they think they're worth. And if you don't, you're going to look, the sport has already fallen behind. It's now the third most popular. I mean, I don't think that's even a question anymore.
Not at all.
You know, I know that people want to debate football, basketball. To me, it goes football, basketball, baseball. And then that sport on the ice called hockey that I kind of like, but not many other people do.
It's fun when you're there.
Yeah, you went the other night, right?
Yeah.
When they lost. You're the only time they've lost in like the last 12 games in regulation when you friggin' go to the game. Probably because you rip the sport all the time.
I mean,
They knew you were there. It looked like it was fun.
They suck.
I mean, they had a big win last night.
We were sitting there.
They sucked that night is what you're trying to say.
Like Joe and I looked at them and we were like, we do have to remember that like this really is not a good hockey team. They've just been playing well as of late.
Carter Hart, baby. Finally have our goaltender. God forbid we would have brought him up a year earlier.
He had a couple crazy saves on Monday.
He's very good.
The first goal was just so not his fault. There was no way he could have known the puck was where it was. But the other, I guess, two that were, I mean, they were kind of on him. But I mean, the rest, the Flyers offense was not doing anything.
I would like to go to more.
They had like 60 shots on goal, and the Penguins had like 20.
I would like to go to more Flyers games, but it's so damn expensive. Like, I don't understand you could have 41 home games and charge that much per seat.
I don't know what they are regularly. We'd had like a group deal, so we paid a
That's good.
certain price.
I'm glad you had a good time.
It was nice. I wish they would have won.
Yeah.
It was a shame.
We always do. But yeah, no, I think baseball's in a world of trouble. I don't know how you guys feel. I think they're in a major world of trouble at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I think that... Sorry.
Riveting analysis.
Well, no, Isaiah Thomas is making his return tonight.
Oh, good for Isaiah Thomas.
But yeah, I agree. I just think that, I mean, the games are so long, and especially, I also feel that not a lot of kids these days are being put in baseball.
Well, part of the problem is this, and that, look, I teach at a school where baseball is life and has been for years and years and years. I mean, when I was a sophomore in high school, Gloucester Catholic was #1 in the nation in high school baseball. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's 12 months a year. And what's happening is these kids are 18 years old and they're having arm issues.
Yeah. I mean, I went to high school. One of my best friends from high school, we're still really close to this day. He tore his labrum our junior year of high school. And he was a pitcher, and he was a really good pitcher too, and was looking to go somewhere for college, and he tore his labrum, and then the next year needed Tommy John. So he went to the IMG Academy in Florida for a year, and is now in his, this is his last year of school, but he's playing in college now, but it was just so many different setbacks and issues and surgeries that, yeah, sometimes if things happen in football, like you get hit, you get hurt, you tear an ACL here or there, whatever. But at the end of the day, there's nothing that, just from wear and tear on your body. Like, baseball, that is literally just, it was him doing it to himself from what baseball required of him. Football and basketball, if you get hit or something, that's when you get hurt. It's not pure wear and tear from what you're doing where these injuries come from. And I think that, like you said, baseball it's a full year, lot of commitment, and it's so much if you're not willing to give all of that to that one sport. And personally, my philosophy on it is I don't think kids should just be one sport athletes. I think it's good for kids to try a bunch of different things and then eventually find something that if they find something they enjoy and they don't want to do anything else, fine. But from the beginning, and I just think that at this point, there are so many more parents putting their kids in things like people are starting lacrosse at a young age instead, or they're starting different things. Like, I don't think, when I was young, it was you put your kids in soccer in the fall, and then you put them in t-ball or baseball or softball in the spring. And I just don't think that's how it is anymore.
Because you can't just put your kids in baseball in the spring and expect them to do well, because it has to be the spring, the summer, the fall, and then they have to go work out at an indoor facility in the winter.
Right.
Look, I coach basketball. Joe coaches basketball. I don't know if he deals with this as much as we do. We have kids that are good basketball players that do not come out because somebody in their baseball circle has told them, no, you need to be working out all winter for baseball. Yeah. You can't lose weight going and playing basketball.
Right.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Or I have kids on the team now. And this, not just this year, every year, where when you start getting to February in the basketball season, if you got a kid who's more of a baseball player, as you get to these last days of the year, you see them. You see their eyes. They see the spring. They see the sunshine. They see the diamond. And they don't give a damn about what's going on, especially if it's like a JV level, or something like that where they're not really playing for anything. It's so hard. Like, I used to have to, what I would do with my JV teams, because predominantly they were always made up of baseball guys, was when you got to February, I'd say, okay, we have 10 wins. We have 12 games to play. I want to go 8-2. You go 8-2. We're going to go to the local pizza shop after school one day. I'm going to buy you guys all pizza. Like, I had to make these incentives to keep them involved and engaged.
Yeah. But
I shouldn't have to do that.
I think that goes back to then people aren't sitting and watching these games all the way through at home. They're not going to the baseball field to sit and watch the games all the way through because no one has that tie to it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's kind of all circles together. Because, I grew up watching the Phillies with my great-grandfather. But he would, we would go down to the beach during the summer. He had a house, and he was really old. He didn't come to the beach with us. He didn't do anything.
Right.
So he was at the house all day, and we would come back from the beach at, 4 or 5 o'clock, and he would be there watching the pregame for the Phillies, and we would, when we were little, we'd take our showers from the beach, get all the sand off, and then while Mom made dinner, we would sit with him on the couch and watch the Phillies. Like, that's what we did. I just don't know if there's as much of all of that anymore.
No, there's not. There's not. It doesn't have that effect. The generations have changed, and if baseball doesn't change with the times, Look, I never, these people that say, oh, well, it'll become non-existent. No, sports will never become non-existent. They will never become obsolete to the point where they just fold. I can never see the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, and even the NHL ever folding and no longer being in existence.
That'll
I
never
just
happen.
don't see it. But they will become obsolete in the stance of, can you name it one of the 3 major sports leagues?
They'll become the new hockey.
Yeah, I mean they'll be on a level with the NHL. I mean they will be, because look, the NBA changes, the NFL changes. I mean the NFL's trying to get safer, and I know it's frustrating people, but every year, look, the catch rule was an issue a couple years ago. That rule changed. I think what you're going to see next change is you're going to be able to review pass interference penalties.
I think they should be able to review pass interference.
I see that coming. But I really hope.
Yeah,
I still hope that the Saints never get a call ever again because of how much of
never,
babies they were.
jackasses.
That they made me believe that they are worse than Vikings fans. I never would have assumed that.
The Vikings fans are still the worst.
Speaking of that, I have a little tidbit of knowledge that's been put out there about a possible Eagles-Vikings game on Thanksgiving night this year.
Ooh, here?
No.
Oh.
Be in Minnesota, but still, that'd be a way to end Thanksgiving.
Who knows? I don't know where I'm going to be for Thanksgiving this year. There's a lot of things going on in my world.
Uh-oh. What's that mean?
My brother got into a study abroad program.
Ooh.
So he'll be in Rome all semester, which I'm super
You're going to Rome.
Well, Sophie has to be in Florida for festival.
Oh, so you might go to Florida.
I don't know where. Well, one parent's going to go one way, the other parent's going to go the other way. I don't know who's going where.
You
but
should
they're
stay in
like,
Pennsylvania.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I'm going to go, or if I am going to stay. I have no idea. But but if that happens, I need to be somewhere with the TV.
Yeah. And if you're in Rome, it's going to be like bright early in the morning. I forget what the time difference is. Or maybe it's earlier in the day. It might be the afternoon.
They're earlier.
They're like 9 hours. I think, what's it, like an 8-hour difference or 7-hour
It's 6.
difference? 6. So if the game was at 8:30, it would be, I don't do math.
2 a.m.
No. Oh, so they're ahead.
They're ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That'd be fun for you.
Because the Lions always play the noon game. The Cowboys
Well, they would
always
be the
play
night game. They would.
I know, that's
so-
what I'm saying. The Lions play the noon game. The Cowboys play the 4 o'clock, so they would have to be the night game, which means, oh my God. Oh boy.
See, now you're excited. First you tried to like poo-poo my little
no, I'm
knowledge,
like, oh
and
my
now
God,
you're thinking
we're-
about it, and you can't poo-poo it anymore.
Well, no, it's going to be a great time. I love when the Eagles play on Thanksgiving. That's always very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I loved when they played here on Thanksgiving. That was so much fun. Did you go to that game or did you stay? I feel like we talked about this.
Which one?
The one they played here on Thanksgiving, they played the Cardinals. It was like 10 years ago.
Oof, did I go to that? I was in the parking lot at noon. My Thanksgiving dinner that year was 2 Wawa sandwiches.
Oh no,
and all kinds of chips
we brought ours.
and a lot of alcoholic beverages. I missed the first quarter.
See, I was 12 when that happened.
I didn't miss the first quarter. I was in the concourse of the first quarter because one of the people we were with lost her group, and I felt bad just leaving her standing there. So,
Sure, that's nice of you.
I was a nice person. It was a long time ago.
We
I'm no
brought
longer nice. I would have left her ass there.
we brought all of our stuff. So we had like a bunch of turkeys and all.
I'm a
big tables.
Thanksgiving's an overrated dinner.
Oh right, we have
Thanksgiving.
talked about this. Yeah, you're not a Thanksgiving person.
To me, turkey is just this turkey.
I'm right there with you.
I like mashed
Well,
potatoes.
he's the
I'm
pickiest
also,
eater.
Yeah.
He's the
such a
pickiest
picky
eater
eater.
known to man.
Yeah. I like
It's ridiculous.
No, I'm with you, Patrick. I mean, I like mashed potatoes, but I can have mashed potatoes on a Tuesday if I want.
No,
frickin' mashed
Patrick
potatoes.
wants chicken nuggets and mac and cheese and pizza
That-
for.
You are my guy, Patrick.
That was my Thanksgiving up until like a couple years ago. It
You
was,
are
like,
the literal
mac and
worst.
cheese.
Like, no,
the worst.
let's put it this way. Like, I love going to my parents for Thanksgiving because my dad will make turkey, but he's also going to make a lasagna, and that really excites me. I don't like going anywhere else, and it's not like I love my in-laws, I love my wife's family, but I know that I'm not to expect a
lasagna.
and it disappoints. Like this year, Christmas dinner, we were at my in-law. We always go to my in-laws for Christmas because we're at my parents' Christmas Eve every year. Christmas dinner. Now, my father-in-law normally makes raviolis, which is what I would go have at my house anyway. So regardless, Christmas dinner is
Raviolis.
awesome, beautiful. There were no raviolis this year. When I tell you my disappointment, we got in the car and we're driving home, and I said, "Liz, I'm no, disrespect, but I was super bummed and dejected when not only were we going to eat dinner right as the Sixers Celtics were starting, there were no raviolis. It was like it was horrific. It was like
That's upsetting.
I didn't know what to do with myself. I really did not know what to do with myself. So I ate a lot of bread.
See, no, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Thanksgiving dinner.
I mean, it was delicious. It was like a pork, like a big pork,
Yeah.
but I wanted raviolis. I don't know what to tell you.
My mom makes manicotti every year, and it's delicious.
So
It's to
Christmas
die
dinner
from.
at the town.
So Christmas dinner at our Patrick wouldn't eat it.
We're in. You wouldn't eat manicotti?
I don't even know what that is.
Manicotti. It's basically a ravioli, only it's like a tube-shaped
long
pasta,
tube.
and you can see the cheese as it's oozing out as you. Oh my!
Oh, I'd
goodness.
probably eat that.
Oh, you would eat that.
It's ricotta cheese. It's not like cheese.
No,
whiz coming out
Patrick,
the
I
sides.
guarantee you, if we went back and forth right now, I guarantee you, I would beat Patrick as the pickiest eater of all time.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I seriously doubt it.
Can we try a couple?
Go ahead,
Real quick?
please.
Patrick, do you eat steak?
Yeah.
I do not.
Oh.
He didn't have a cheesesteak until how old were you? It was at my house. My dad made
Yeah.
him a cheesesteak. He was like 16, 17.
I just started to eat flank steak, 34 years old, but I won't. You give me a big fillet. Not gonna
Okay, continue.
do it.
I think that does it.
Yeah, that might.
Patrick, do you eat salad?
No.
All right, good. We're on the same page there. I don't believe in anything that's green when it comes to food. I think it's a waste of time. Outside of broccoli, broccoli's okay. I'm trying to think of another. It's a waste of time. Lettuce is the single biggest waste of time in the history of food products. Because here's the deal: when people eat a salad, what do they do to the salad? They have to add chicken. They have to add fattening dressing. They have to have buffalo. No one's just eating lettuce because it's a waste of friggin' time. Doesn't fill you up. It has no taste, and it just crunches. You've never heard? I've never gone on my lettuce rant with you. Oh, my students love it.
No. Oh my God. Oh,
We've never had this talk.
I know you didn't like salads, but I've never heard the full lettuce rant.
Oh my God! My students love that I think lettuce is a waste of time. It's a waste of time.
Lettuce is a waste of time.
Do you eat tuna fish?
No.
Okay, I eat that. I do like, but my tuna, like this is where my pick. If tuna has celery in it, I'm out. If it has a little chunk of celery, no, I'm out. Tuna's got to be tuna, mayo. That's it.
Okay.
Egg salad, you got to have the eggs, mayo, mustard. That's it. No.
Will you even eat egg salad?
Nope.
Yeah.
Do you eat eggs?
Yeah.
Okay. We probably. I mean, we got. This could be a contest we could do the next time Patrick is in here.
This
Could be
brutal.
a lot of
This
fun.
is brutal.
This is great radio.
My mom hates making food for me.
Oh, my
would
mom, my entire life, she would cook dinner for the family and then dinner for me. And dinner for me was normally broccoli and a cheese sauce, like one of those like cups.
So that's the only way you eat broccoli is if there's cheese sauce.
When I was younger, I've grown a little bit with.
Congratulations
with my
on being an
broccoli.
adult.
Listen, you waste. I'm sorry, I'm not wasting my life eating damn lettuce. Just not gonna do it.
I didn't say anything about lettuce.
Anyway, okay, we move on. Now that we're talking green, let's go to the Eagles.
All right, that works. What a segue that was.
That one. See, I'm on fire today. By the way, I want to put this out there before I forget because we forgot at the beginning of the show. We're going to have a new way for you to interact with us,
Yeah.
Okay? Obviously, because we were pre-recorded, it would be very hard to do live calls and all that kind of stuff. But we have been given a number, thanks to our friends at ProSportsNotes.com, that you could call at any point during the week. You call this number, you leave a voicemail, and anything you want to talk about, you want to rant, you want to talk about something we were talking about that you disagree with,
You want to insult Rob about not eating vegetables?
you want to tell me that lettuce is not a waste of time, and we will get the transcripts. If it's a great audio clip, we'll even be able to get the audio clip and play it on air. And look, I know a lot of radio shows are doing these types of things, you know, with the sound offs and the rant lines and all that. But because of the way we do the show, I think this is the best way that we can interact with you guys. Obviously, you can always tweet us and all that stuff, and we'll bring them up as well. But the number, I'm putting it out here now. We will have it in all our write-ups. We will have it all over Twitter this week, is 267-752-5743. That's 267-752-5743. You call the number, you leave a voicemail, we'll talk about it. We'll even, you know, if we start getting enough calls, we can make a segment of the show about, you know, what you guys want to talk about, you know, what our listeners are into and our viewers on YouTube. Maybe even if we can figure out how to work YouTube, we could pop that up as a scroll on the YouTube at some point as well. But let's go to the Eagles.
Okay.
And I just dropped my pen. And listen, I know it's early. March 13th is the beginning of the new league year. But, you know, NFL-wide, you've had a couple things happen the last couple days. Today you had Joe Flacco go to the Broncos in a trade. It can't be processed until March 13th, but it's been agreed to. And I just read that they're going to try and trade Case Keenum is the move, what they're probably going to do. They might be able to get a bag of footballs for him. We'll see. Who knows? Good luck with that.
John Elway's a moron.
Someone said this was the best tweet I saw today. It's like the NFL is playing on an Xbox One, and John Elway does a great job in acquiring a Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's what John Elway does.
I mean, like, think about the quarterbacks that he's had over the last 5 years. You got Case Keenum. He's just trading for Joe Flacco now. Brock Osweiler.
Trevor Siemian.
They drafted Paxton Lynch.
I was going to say, don't forget about Paxton.
Dude.
Is Paxton in the AAF yet?
No, he just signed with the Seahawks.
You know...
He's somewhere.
You know what Paxton is in? Or you know who is in the AAF?
Yep, you're right.
You know who is in the AAF?
Who?
Jamarcus Russell.
I did see that, yeah.
What the hell
Christian
is that about?
Hackenberg.
I was all about the AAF until I saw them sign Jamarcus Russell. And then I said, okay, I can't be about this anymore.
What even is it? I didn't even know about it.
Dude, I gotta tell you.
Out of nowhere.
I gotta tell you, it was
I was at the
legitimate
Wings
football.
game, so I didn't get a chance to see it. Like
I watched, I tuned in for a couple, but it was legitimate football. I mean, it was.
I saw the one play where the guy got his helmet blown off.
Yeah, it was the same rules. I mean, there's a couple different things. The referees wear really weird shirts. I noticed that. But a couple of things they do, like on instant replays, you're listening to the actual instant replayer up in the booth.
Yeah, they have like a camera
and they
on
had
somebody who's going through.
And they had a woman literally change her mind in the live for you to see. It was really cool for the fans from that standpoint. You know, someone said maybe it becomes the minors for the NFL. I don't think you ever have a minor league for the NFL. I think what it is, you know, maybe a better version of the Arena Football League, maybe a version of the Canadian Football League that people are going to pay attention to. I don't know what the hell the XFL is going to look like when they come back.
Who knows?
I know that if you watch their 30 for 30 on the XFL, they talk about in that how looking back they would have done things differently. They were so about trying to have the shock factor that, you know, Vince McMahon and was it Ebersol? Was it Dick Ebersol? Were they the two that came together in the XFL? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
But they want to do it differently, and you know, you might, you're going to see it a little bit differently. But this AAF could be cool. It's not something that, like, look, right now, there's no team in Philly, so we have totally no reason whatsoever. But they already said, because of the numbers on the first weekend, they want to add 3 or 4 more teams. So, you know, you never know. I mean, what it does is it gives guys, for example, a lot of former Eagles out there, okay? You had, who was the defensive back who actually played in games this season? And then he was out there playing for a team. You had a guy like Greg Ward, who's always been a practice squad guy, playing for a team.
Isn't Josh Huff in there too somewhere?
Josh Huff is in there.
Trent Richardson.
Trent Richardson got it. But like, you know, so what it is it's a league where the guys that you hear about on your team in the preseason that don't make it are probably going to go play over there.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Which I think will be pretty cool. You know, give them an opportunity.
Yeah.
And it could turn out to where a guy goes, oh, I like what I see from this guy. Let's try and sign him in the NFL. You know what I mean? It could kind of turn into that. But the Eagles, look, it's the off season. We all know the NFL is no longer like just the regular season. I mean, it's 12 months a year now.
Yeah.
You got the combine in less than 2 weeks. You got the draft, which will come up in April or May. But the league year is going to start really a month from today as we're recording this.
Yeah, it's the 13th. Free agency opens at 4, as well as the trading period starts at 4.
And Jess, you had a really good idea for us to kind of get into what we want to see from the Eagles this year in the offseason. I mean, Patrick, if you could pull up who's going to be a free agent, it's a lengthy list. Who's going to be an Eagles free agent?
Pull up my article, Patrick.
Oh, look at that. Shameless plug, prosportsnotes.com.
I did that one
I'm not
already.
insulting you. I'm just saying shameless plug.
Yeah. Read my articles. They're fantastic.
There were no insults there. Now you've gone too far. But like, if you could create a team need list, right? And I'm kind of just writing one down for myself.
Let's start with running back.
I think we all are going to start there, right? Because here's the deal. You look at running backs. Corey Clement coming off an injury. You don't know what he's going to be. Most likely, you're saying goodbye to Jay Ajayi. I don't know if they bring Darren Sproles back unless it's, you know, a veteran minimum type of deal.
Which if he wants to come back, they want him back.
Yeah, they would do it as that. But he would be a true third down back, I think, at that point.
Right. And then you've got Wendell, who has absolutely earned his right to be here.
He earned his right to be here.
Not as a starting running back.
No.
But
and you have the young kid who really, Josh Adams, fell out of favor.
Yeah.
Probably won't be here next year. So let me just read off. I got a list in front of me. Are there any running backs on our roster outside of Ajayi that are going to become free agents?
I don't think so.
All right. So I'm just look. This list is long, and some of these guys, I'm going to try and avoid the restricted free agents.
Okay.
But I think all of us would say running backs got to be their primary need this year, right? I mean,
Yep.
I know that there's other places, and you know, both lines are going to need some work and all that kind of stuff. Tevin Coleman, yay or nay?
Yay.
I mean, I would do it.
I would do it.
I don't think but at the same time, I don't think he is a premier 3-down back, and I want a 3-down back here.
But we don't need one. We need a 1-2 down. If we have Corey Clement and Darren Sproles for a year and then possibly Wendell Smallwood, we don't need the full 3 down. We need like a 1-2.
You know what the best part of this list is?
What?
Is how bad some of these guys are. Right? Baltimore's got 3 running backs that are free agents, one being a restricted free agent. They Collins, Allen, and Ty Montgomery. Buffalo has a guy named Tywan Jones. Don't know you. Cameron Artis-Payne never did anything. Fozzie Whitaker never really did anything. Kenyon Barner, no.
Has a Super Bowl ring.
Travaris Cadet, no. Benny
Kenyon
Cunningham.
have 2?
Kenyon,
Did he finish the season with the Patriots or no?
no.
I didn't think so.
No. Because he was on Carolina, as it says right here.
Right.
Benny Cunningham, no. Rod Smith, no. Here's the name.
Le'Veon Bell.
No.
Are you about to say that to
no,
me right now?
We're going to get to Le'Veon. Le'Veon is a talk that we must have. We must have this talk
The talk.
in Philadelphia. The talk. This is worse than dads when you have to sit your sons down in their teenage years and have the birds and the bees talk. The Le'Veon Bell talk is approaching that status.
Do you want the list of Eagles free agents?
We want to do that first?
I don't know. Just let me know when you want it because we have it now.
Yeah, let's do that first.
Okay, so ready?
Yes.
Golden Tate, Chance Warmack, Mike Wallace, Darren Sproles, Richard Rodgers, Jordan Matthews, Jay Ajayi, Rick Lovato, Nate Sudfeld's a restricted free agent, and Jake Elliott, they have his exclusive rights. So then on the defensive side, you have Brandon Graham, Haloti Ngata, Chris Maragos, Corey Graham, Ronald Darby, Paul Warlow, who they have re-signed or are planning to re-sign.
What is that? Or did they just feel bad for the guy?
He tore his ACL on the first play of
I know,
OTAs.
but so, hey, it didn't work out.
They wanted him here for a reason. They literally never got to see anything from him. The man took a step in the first minute of OTAs and blew his ACL.
That doesn't normally bode well for himself.
Leroy Reynolds, Jordan Hicks, and DJ Alexander.
Here are the names I see that I look at and say I'd be willing to talk to, would like to have back. Okay? I'd be willing to talk to Golden Tate. Talk about what he wants, what we want, and see what's there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be willing to talk to Sproles just because I love the guy.
Yep.
Obviously, Jake Elliott's going to be back because he's at that restricted free agent, and
so is Nate Sudfeld. They're both going to stay.
And I don't like the whole going out and looking for a kicker right now.
Right.
Like,
Just keep
I know,
Jake Elliott.
I know the old man Matt Bryant's a free agent now because the Falcons are releasing him, but just keep Jake Elliott.
There's no reason. Jake has not given us really a reason. He's never blown a game for us.
Yeah.
You know, he's always, knock on wood, he's won the games. You know what I mean? Like,
Really, the only guy that I don't want to see go, but at the same time, I think is sure as fire not going to be here because I just think he's going to cost too much.
Brandon
Graham.
Yeah, I think he.
And not only that, I think with the recent signing in Kansas City for their defensive coordinator,
I think there's a really good chance that he's.
I think Brandon Graham is without a doubt going to Kansas City.
Yeah, I think he's gone. I think so putting it this way, I think Haloti Ngata is going to retire. I think Chris Maragos is going to retire.
Yeah.
Corey Graham's going to retire because he only played another year because the Eagles asked him to come back.
Yeah. And he lost us a game, so that was fun.
Yeah, that was a great time.
4th and 15, Corey.
And then Chris Long, they're either going to keep him for a year or Chris is going to retire. It'll just depend on really what Chris wants to do.
Well, they have correct. When they signed him last year, they gave him 2 years.
Yes.
So he's under contract. It's just a matter, do you retire? If he doesn't retire, I can't see the Eagles releasing him because
I don't think they'll release him at all.
Because they're going to need depth at that defensive end position.
Right.
Right now, if Brandon Graham doesn't come back, you have Barnett coming off an injury. You have
We
Sweat.
missed him so much.
You have Josh Sweat coming off an injury.
Which we, again, don't know what his injury or Corey Clement's injury
Is
are.
Michael Bennett under contract?
Yes, but he's going to cost a lot. But I don't think they. I think letting
one of
him
the best
go
players on their
would
defense
be
last
in
year.
would be a huge.
You
mistake.
can't let Michael Bennett go.
Can't let Michael Bennett walk.
So I think you need Chris Long, and there's other names that I'm going to throw out there to you later as we talk about this. So.
Obviously, Chance Warmack, bye. Bye. Who else? I don't think they're going to keep Darby.
Yeah.
It'd be based on the corner. For a while,
I thought maybe you go for a 1-year deal, but now LeBlanc and Maddox are guys you're going to try and build with.
Right.
Jalen
Rasul
Mills, you're going to
Douglas,
keep
Jalen
Rasul
Mills,
Douglas.
like,
and they
it's
have
not
to
worth
give.
putting the money forth if they don't have to. If they already
And they're
have
not
these
going to
guys.
take egg on their face yet on Sidney Jones. They're going to give this guy a chance to succeed.
Yeah, they're going to give him another year to try to get out there. So he's not going to be here.
Yes.
Leroy Reynolds, he no.
No.
DJ Alexander, no. We already talked about Jay Ajayi. He's probably not going to be here. I think they keep Jordan Matthews. I do. I think they try to keep him for a small deal because I don't know how it's going to end up working out with Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah, when I say to Nelson,
But
want to know why?
why?
Because I've become increasingly suspicious
That he's the one.
that he's your rat.
I wouldn't put it
I've
so
become.
far out of the way.
It's not Alshon.
I don't
It's
think
not
it was
Alshon.
Alshon.
I don't think.
I
he
never
did that
thought it was
game.
Alshon. I never thought it was Alshon.
I never thought that part was Alshon. No, I always thought it was a guy who felt spurned. And if you looked at the usage between Foles and Wentz with Alshon, it was very similar.
Yeah, and the only one that wasn't very similar.
Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do think they keep Jordan Matthews because of the relationship he has with Wentz, the chemistry he
Keep
has
going
with
to
Wentz.
give 2nd round pick for Antonio Brown. Hello.
And then
No, you're not in on that?
we're on something else right now. We'll get there. And then I do think I think they said Jordan Hicks is going to test free agency. I really think they should try to keep Jordan Hicks. We talked about this, and I remember we were in your basement, and I convinced you that they should keep him. You started on one side, and we talked about it, and you were like, all right, I've jumped.
I've jumped back.
Okay, well, at the end of the day, if you're giving, I don't know, find me the linebackers. Find me the free agent linebackers.
I'll tell you the one I want.
Who?
C.J. Mosley.
Okay, but we're still going to need another one.
Right? They play 2 linebackers all the time. C.J. Mosley, Nigel Bradham. Have fun.
Our linebackers injuries over the last
Paul
couple
Warlow's
years?
your backup.
Oy.
Paul Warlow's a backup, and
Nate Gehrig.
Nate Gary, you're back. So, well, that's fine, but
Kamu
you're not.
Grugier-Hill.
You're not Kamu Grugier-Hill. You're not going to sign Jordan Hicks to be a backup.
No, you're not going
Like,
sign
to
Jordan
me-
Hicks. If they can, but if they can't,
If they can't get a C, all right, I'm going to pull up the linebackers.
if they
right
can't get a CJ Mosley,
now. Yeah.
if your argument for Jordan Hicks is he's injury prone, he has played a full game. He's played a full 16 game season, and if you're going to take the chance on Carson Wentz and his injury prone title,
We're looking
why?
for an inside, a middle linebacker at this point, right? Because that's what Jordan Hicks really is. He's an
Yeah,
inside linebacker.
yeah.
So let me just, I'll go down this list. It's not a strong list.
That's what I'm saying. It's
I mean,
not.
I'm looking at it, but when there's guys such as CJ, like I would take CJ Mosley over Jordan Hicks.
Yeah.
Guy has only missed 3 games his entire career. He's a beast, and I would love to have him on this team.
Is Quan Alexander a free agent this year or next year?
Quan Alexander is. I don't really like. They do it by team.
Because he said something.
Quan Alexander's a free agent.
I would take him.
I would take him. I was going to say, man, that's a shame.
What?
Well, I mean, like a guy like Ryan Shazier is a free agent. It's a sin that the guy will never play again. Like, I mean, he was an unbelievable player.
I mean,
he wants to play. I just don't know if he ever will.
they'll keep him. The Steelers will keep him. They're not going to let him.
Yeah, I mean, look, really, it's you can look at the young kid Spate from Jacksonville, who's 25, just knowing that he was part of a really good defense.
Right.
I don't want to go old. I don't want to go into my 30s for a linebacker, but Mosley's 27.
Because Nigel Bradham's already in his 30s. You don't want another one.
Yeah, Mosley's 27, so he's the same age as Hicks, and Quan Alexander's 25. So, like, those are 2 guys where if you could get one of them, totally okay saying goodbye to Jordan Hicks.
Yeah, if you could get one of them, sure. But if they're going to require ridiculous money, I don't know what. Because our
But how much does linebacker get a lot of money anymore?
Not.
I feel like every team
It depends.
doesn't pay the linebacker
It
a lot of money.
depends.
Yeah.
It depends.
We thought Nigel Bradham wasn't going to come back because he was going to get a lot of money, and I mean they gave him a nice deal, but it wasn't like this exuberant amount of money, was it?
I mean, it was 40 mil
over 5 years. So $8 million a year. I mean, Jordan Hicks, I tell you what, it's not even the injuries that bother me with Jordan Hicks. It was his play this year. I didn't think his play was all that good.
No, he wasn't that great this year. Towards the end of the season, he picked it up a little bit,
Yeah.
but in the beginning, it wasn't great. If they can get one of these guys, sure. But, I mean, if they can't, their, linebackers can't be Nigel Bradham, Nate Gary, and Kamu Grugier-Hill. Like, that can't happen. The average of the top 10... Oh, that's top 10 players. No, I want average salaries by position. That's what I want.
So, listen, I look at who the Eagles free agents are. Like I said, the only guys I could see coming back or that I would want coming back are guys like Golden Tate, Sproles, obviously Warlow's coming back. I'd want Brandon Graham, but I just don't see it. Hicks, okay either way. If you can't get an upgrade, then yeah. You bring the guy back. But, you have Kamu Grugier-Hill as a backup. You have, who was the other name that I lost him again.
Nate Gary.
Yeah, but who else?
Paul Warlow.
Paul Warlow is a backup, who obviously the fact they signed him is they want him to play.
Go Hens.
Go Hens. So when I look at the list of free agents, though.
So Von Miller is a linebacker, which I totally forget every time, and he's making 19 mil a year.
Yeah,
but he's Von Miller.
But he's Von Miller. No one else is getting that.
Yeah, I think like Luke Kuechly's even making less than that.
Yeah,
Justin Houston 16.8, Chandler Jones 16.5, Melvin Ingram 16.5.
So you're naming the top linebackers in the game.
I'm giving you the top 10.
No, I know. I'm just
Robert Quinn 14.3, Clay Matthews 13.2, Jamie Collins 12.5, Luke Kuechly 12.4, Nick Perry 12,
so that 12
and
million.
Ryan Kerrigan 11.5.
So these free agent linebackers, guys like Mosley, Alexander, Hicks, are going to be looking for that 12 million number. They're all going to be looking for it. So if I'm paying that much for a linebacker, which I don't know if the Eagles are going to do that for anybody,
right?
But if I am, I'd rather have Mosley or Quan Alexander than Jordan Hicks. If you can get Jordan Hicks back here,
I would love Quan Alexander on this team.
Yeah.
He tweeted something about. He tweeted it, and then it was up for like an hour, and then he deleted it. I don't remember what it said, though.
Well, Tampa Bay, very
They're
interesting.
a mess.
Very interesting with the new regime coming in there and guys getting released left and right. I mean, I would not at all be surprised if Vinny Curry ends up back here.
Would you like to see Vinny Curry back here?
For a one-year deal as a rotational guy, absolutely.
If the money's right, yeah.
Yeah, as a rotational guy, like he was here in the last time, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think what you saw was he's not a starter. He's not going to be a savior.
No, and that the contract that Chip Kelly gave him was ridiculous.
Oh my God!
Much like every contract Chip Kelly gave out.
But without Chip Kelly, I don't think we have a Super Bowl.
Stop it.
He blew it up.
We're not going to have this conversation.
He blew it up.
We're not going to have this conversation.
But he did.
Okay, moving on.
Okay. When she's wrong, she can't admit it.
I just don't want to talk about Chip Kelly.
All right, let's talk about the other NFL free agents, and we'll just go through positions that we think are important to the Eagles because we do want to get to the Sixers at some point. We are into the second half of the show.
Yes. At
this point. So I'm just going to all right, so if we go to the running back position, here's names that I like or intrigue me.
Okay.
If it was a committee, this name would intrigue me, but I don't think it will because he's too old now. LeGarrette Blount.
You see the Eagles just followed him on Instagram the other day?
Did they follow him back? Mm-hmm. Look, he's a hell of a locker room guy. I mean, I would love him from that standpoint.
I would take LeGarrette Blount any day of the week and twice on Sundays. Give me that man. I don't care how old he is. His legs are tree trunks.
Okay. We know
there were so many times this year when I'm watching the Eagles play and I'm like, you know what would make this play different? LeGarrette Blount.
Oh, I agree. I'm also going to name guys that I've heard in connection to the Eagles just to see what people think.
Okay.
TJ Yeldon. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I don't like that.
I'm tired of hearing his name.
I need a starting running back. I just said this. I don't need a 3-down back. I need at least a 1-2. I need a true starting running back that if you put him in there, he can get you at least 3, 4, 10 plus yard runs a game.
Yes.
I need that in my life.
Absolutely. Latavius Murray.
Patrick?
I like it.
29 years old.
I would take
if the
Latavius
money's
Murray
right.
before I would take TJ Yeldon, but not on a Le'Veon Bell.
Now here's the guy I want, and I know that you're going to tell me no, but this is the guy that I have kind of circled because I think he was the most realistic name. and that guy's name is Mark Ingram.
I don't have a problem with Mark Ingram coming here.
You bring me Mark
I had
Ingram,
a problem with
right?
him being a jackass.
Okay. Hashtag jackass on the shirt. You bring me a Mark Ingram here, and you partner him up with
Corey Clement
and Darren Sproles. Now,
I like that.
because now, but you don't have to worry about is there a running back by committee? No, Mark Ingram's your lead guy, and that's what you sell to him. You're our lead guy.
Right.
Yes, we're gonna have a third down back in Darren Sproles. Yes, Corey Clement's gonna spell you because I think that Corey Clement's at his best when he's doing that.
Right. I
when
agree.
he's a spell running back. That's the guy. Like, look. Do I want Le'Veon Bell? Yeah, everybody wants Le'Veon Bell. It would be unbelievable to see Carson Wentz with Le'Veon Bell behind him. It would.
Yes.
But
Realistically, I just don't
is
think
that going to
that's
happen? The
possible.
Eagles are not going to do that. Many teams are not going to do that. What you're going to get is a team, and I'm not saying that they're doing this because they might have a running back already, but like a team like a San Francisco or one of these teams that are really not doing well, that are trying to build this thing back up, that need a centerpiece for fan support, are going to give Le'Veon Bell the money that he's going to, ask for. I would have said a Cleveland if they didn't go out and sign a Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
But
Who knows what's going to happen there, though?
yeah, but like a Cincinnati might go after a Le'Veon Bell. Oh, no, I guess not now because they got Mixon. I'm trying to think of the teams that would go. The
Like
New
the
York Jets are
Yeah,
the
the
one
Jets.
team. And I got a student who's a Jets fan who tells me every day, and I'm like, I don't care. Your team will still be obsolete to me. I don't care about the Jets, ever.
No, the Jets
because they
suck.
stink. Their franchise stinks.
Jets suck.
And I'm not going to worry about it. So, like, yeah, I could say Le'Veon Bell. And yes, Jess, I'm sure you would say yes. Patrick, I'm sure you would say. I'm sure
You're an
most
idiot
people,
if you don't say yes.
Yeah, you are a jackass
Jackass.
if you don't say yes. Okay? But I don't think it's probable. Mark Ingram's a guy I do. Like, to me, your first call on March 13th should be to Mark Ingram. Now, the question is, do the Saints let him go? Do the Saints let him go and just say, hey, it's Alvin Kamara's team now? Sorry.
I don't know.
I don't know. But if he hits the market, you got to get him in the building, in my opinion. Mark Ingram's the guy that we need. He's 29 years old. You still got a few good years left. You give him a 4-year deal, and you run with it. That's what I would do at the running back position. I mean, all the other names that are on here literally suck, or literally I don't know who they are.
Like?
J.D. McKissick?
Exactly.
You know who we could
He
bring?
in,
Exactly.
You know who we could
where is
bring?
he? San Fran?
Seattle.
Oh, right.
You know who we could bring back?
Who?
Raheem Mostert.
No. That's going to be no from me.
Adrian Peterson at 34?
Absolutely not.
All right. Let's go to wide receiver. Not that I think that the Eagles are, but I would like to upgrade your.
Well, okay, while we're on wide receiver, talk to me about this Golden Tate thing. How are you taking this in a positive way?
I'm taking it as he wants to sign an extension here. I'm taking it as that's Golden Tate's way of saying, hey, I actually enjoyed my time here. I'd like to come back.
I agree, but I don't think the Eagles will like the way that he just went about that. I think if they were wavering on whether they wanted to do it or not,
Fair.
I think there's a very good chance that they saw that tweet and went, you're not getting it now.
You can't be. You can't hold grudges on these guys.
But they also can't either.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, if
To
he
me-
wants to sign an extension, yes, I agree with you that I do see that he enjoyed his time here and wants to stay here. I completely agree with that. But I also think that he's a little bit angry at the Eagles and he's holding a grudge. And that's not the way to get it done.
Yeah, but very few teams actually sign extensions right now. Like, I know it just happened.
Right.
But that's rare. That's a rare thing. It doesn't happen all the time. And I think that that's the conversation they need to have. Like, dude, we have a lot of moving parts right now. We have a ton of free agents.
But you think if they were actually going to sign him to an extension, they would have told him that already in like an
Fair.
exit interview. You would have think that they would have just been like,
Listen.
all right, listen, we want to sign you to an extension. We are planning on signing you to an extension. We just have a few things we have to figure out first because we've got a lot of money to move around. We will get to you. Just hold tight. So that's what leads me to believe that
what happens
maybe
is I
something
look
was
at this.
weird there.
I look at this list and it bothers me.
Okay.
And that's why I like Golden Tate. Now, there's a couple guys whose names are interesting. I don't know if you would take the run at them, though. Would you take a flyer on a 29-year-old Randall Cobb?
No.
Why not?
I just.
Jordan Matthews gives you more? Does Jordan Matthews give you more?
I don't know, but I don't think if you're going to take a chance on somebody, I don't think the way that Randall Cobb has played the last couple of years, I don't.
He's been hurt. He's
Right.
been hurt.
Okay, but when he hasn't been hurt, I just don't think.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know. I just it's something about it. I don't.
That's fine. Patrick, anything on Randall Cobb?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't know how he would fit. Like,
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it. I just
You just
doesn't
know.
feel right.
You just know.
yeah, it's like a question mark. Like, you don't know if he'd be an upgrade or not.
All right, that's fine. By the way, let's just do the offensive side of the ball today. We'll do defense for the Eagles next week so that
Okay,
we can
let
get
me
to the
write that
Sixers. Here's a name of a restricted free agent who I want to. Now, every year for the last couple of years, you've had the Eagles take their shot on a speedster, right? They try and get that guy who could take the top off. It was Torrey Smith 2 years ago. They tried to go to Mike Wallace this year. It didn't work out because of injury. Here's a restricted free agent who's 25 years old, who I would think about paying the price for. And his name is Robbie Anderson from the New York Jets. There's a guy I would love to add to an Alshon Jeffrey and whoever else is out there. No? Yes? Maybe so?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that one. I'm trying to think. I thought I saw that they signed him to an extension.
I don't know. He's listed on this list as a restricted free agent.
I could have sworn.
I don't know when this list was updated, but it looks like February 9th, 2019. So it was only a few days ago.
Oh, yeah, then maybe not.
All right. So outside of that, if Deshaun Jackson becomes available, are you interested?
Yes.
Okay. But we don't know if he's going to become available. So
Yep.
that's the question on there. The rest of it, the wide receiver free agencies are terrible. Although there is another intriguing name.
Who? What? I don't like the way you're looking.
And I
at me
just
right
say it as intriguing. I'm not saying that I would do it. But the guy's made a good living on being a nice little possession receiver. And he's trying to have a rap career too. Would you look at Cole Beasley?
now. I don't even know.
Yes.
You would. Yeah, Patrick's
Yeah.
in.
Can we put the kibosh
Patrick
on
is
him?
in.
Can we put-
Patrick is in on Cole Beasley.
Yes.
Okay.
I think he would be a good addition to the team. Could we?
God,
could
you
we
want to
put-
know why I would do
You
it?
think Howie could put the kibosh on his rap career though?
I would love it just from the standpoint that Howard Eskin and Cole Beasley would be in the same room every day, and they hate each other because of Twitter, and it would be awesome. It would be awesome. I would love it. But he might be one of those idiots who go, screw that, I can never be an Eagle. All right, let's.
Did you mention Demaryius Thomas?
I'm afraid of that because he ruptured the Achilles so late in the year at week 16, and I'm tired of the Achilles injury. It ruins me. It just does. I'm nervous about it.
Broncos looked into Foles too.
Yeah, and the Eagles probably asked for a first round pick.
Broncos traded for Flacco over Nick Foles partly because he played more under center. Okay.
All right.
Whatever works.
The
Whatever
Eagles,
works for you.
The Eagles do not need a tight end. We know that.
No.
Do the Eagles?
I mean,
no.
they don't need one, but they have that third tight end spot open because Richard Rodgers is a free agent.
No, then sign somebody. I mean, I'm not going to harp on the tight end position.
Okay.
The only position, there's two positions on the offensive line now you got to look at. Got to look at tackle, got to look at guard. You got to look at tackle because you have to decide what are you going to do with Jason Peters. Are you going to release him? You going to keep him? And if you're going to keep him, you need a good backup because he's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Because he does every year. So when you look at the free agent list, it's tough for me to judge free agent linemen. You know, there's only a couple names I'm looking at that I know. Marshall Newhouse from Carolina. Not much here. You guys want Eric Flowers?
That's hilarious.
Yes. Thank you. I am a comedian. You have Trent
I'm
Brown.
out.
You have Trent Brown from New England.
You give me Eric Flowers, I'm out.
Yeah, I won't be a fan
Jumping
anymore.
ship.
An old guy. See, damn, I always wanted Bushrod. He's just too old now. I don't know. I think you got to draft the offensive lineman. Second, third round.
What about Jordan Mailata?
mean, if you want to run with that, I mean, he's got to show me something. He hasn't shown me enough yet.
I mean, yeah, I agree. But would you be willing to use that draft pick on someone else and hope to God that Jordan Mailata is ready to go?
No, listen, you have to draft
Because you also have Vaitai.
You have to draft an offensive tackle at some point, whether it's late round or not in this draft. Guard's an issue right now because of an Achilles injury to Brooks.
He got his cast off.
Yes, I follow him. He's a great follow.
He is.
But
Recently, he has been because he has nothing better to do.
To me, I don't think you need to draft a guard because
No.
he'll come back and be okay.
Yeah.
Although the other side, is it going to be Wisniewski? Is it going to be Sam Malo? I just don't know. So maybe you do need to draft one to start the build. But can you get somebody, even if they're older, even if it's a Mikey Upati, I'm just throwing out a name that I know, to come in here just in case Brandon's not ready to go. I don't want a Chance Warmack. I don't want... do you look at a Jonathan Cooper who's 29 years old coming from Washington? I don't know. I mean, these are guys you really have to start looking at some point.
I don't know what they do because the idea would be, okay, you're just here as a safety blanket in case Brandon Brooks isn't ready on time, and once he's back, you're done.
So do you give a 1 year deal to somebody, to an older guy?
Yeah, but I don't know how well you can convince a person of that.
Well, I mean, if some of these guys are going to have to take 1 year deals if they're older, if they're in their 30s.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Well,
Is it, a DJ Fluker's not hasn't people expected a lot more out of him, but here's 20. Hey, here's a prove it coming.
right.
You're gonna have an opportunity to play because maybe what it is Brandon Brooks is ready, but he could swing to the other guard spot. We don't know. Center, we're good, and that does it for the offense.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, I think running back is where we're going to be looking. I think running back
is the main focus.
We're going to be majorly focused. So we have about 40 minutes left in the show. This is The Madness, brought to you by ProSportsNotes.com, powered by WildfireRadio.com. Catch us on Twitter at Philly_Madness, at Run This Town with an E13, at Pat _MAHON, right?
Yep.
All right. You can follow us on Instagram at Philly_Madness. Jess does a great job of keeping things going there. I did post a picture. I'm not sure if you saw that, Jess.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I did post a picture.
I did. I saw it.
I posted a little GIF of Boban, Joel, and Tobias with we're the three best friends that anyone could have.
Can we talk about how much I love Boban?
Boban's great. He's just not a very good basketball player.
It's okay. I love him.
Did you see the pass he threw? And fortunately, there was a foul call, but he literally threw it right into the chest of a Celtic.
Yeah.
It's like, Boban,
But did you see that time where he took the ball and went like this?
Yes, I saw that too.
Like it was a literal... They said it on the broadcast. They're like, he took that like a Nerf basketball. And that's absolutely true. But it's things like that I'm like, that guy's 7'4". He's enormous. And his hands are so big. What did he just do?
Yeah, he's a funny man. Him and Toby are hysterical.
Hilarious. So funny.
Apparently, Angela Cataldi asked JT Real Muto to call Bryce Harper since they're best friends. Make the call, JT.
Yeah, I support that statement.
I want that right now.
Is that tampering?
No, he's a free agent.
All right, great.
Call whoever the hell you want.
Do that.
All right, let's get to the Sixers. Okay. We had talked about the major trade. Do we want to start on our goodbye ode to Markelle Fultz?
Bye, Markelle. I'm done.
What a jerk you are.
No, I'm kidding. No, I mean,
I hope to God this kid becomes a player.
I do too. We talked about it last week. If this was 3 years ago, it would all be fine. But because they are in the position to be in this win now mode and they have the potential to make a run, provided they pull all their heads out of their own asses, we didn't have the room for Markelle to just eat up that roster spot anymore. We just didn't have it. It wasn't there. If he wasn't going to give us anything and wasn't going to be able to come back and help us at all this year, like last year, remember they were like, oh, he's going to play tonight. And then he played like 10 games and then it came time in the playoffs and he just sat there and was useless. When that could have been something that could have helped us somewhere along the way.
We needed the roster spot.
Yeah, we needed the roster spot. And the fact that there was somebody that was willing to give us something for him,
only give us something, they gave us a player, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick. And I know the first-round pick's late, but what that did, you just recouped the first-round pick you traded to get Tobias Harris.
Yes.
So, in essence, it was a great deal. Jonathan Simmons, look, I like Jonathan Simmons defensively. He's not going to give you a lot offensively, but he's going to be a pest defensively. off the bench, which I think they need. I mean, you saw him in limited minutes last night. I thought he did okay. I thought he made some good plays. I was a little bit more disappointed with James Ennis not playing as much. Like they went to Furkan. We're going to talk about that.
Oh my God, I cannot stand Furkan Korkmaz. I absolutely hate seeing him on the floor. I'm so done with it. It's not even funny. I'm so upset that he's still a Sixer. I can't even believe that he's upset the Sixers didn't pick up his option. I can't believe that he's actually doesn't understand why. That's all. He's terrible.
Patrick, I'm flabbergasted what just happened in this studio.
Yeah,
I fully cringe
also.
every time I see him come on the floor, and I can't wait until he leaves every single time.
Yeah, Brett's got to stop. I mean, that's my one criticism.
My one criticism of Brett Brown is Furkan Korkmaz should not be in the rotation even remotely. And where is Jonah Bolden?
Well,
that's all I have.
Do you want Boban playing or Jonah? Because that's it. That's it.
I don't know.
Now, look, we'll get to the Celtics game. Let's wait.
Yeah, we have the other two to talk about first.
So Markelle Fultz, it's a shame, but to get the return you got, I think was a great move by Elton Brand.
100%.
You got two bench pieces in Simmons and Ennis, along with Boban and Mike Scott. So you now,
regional manager. It's my favorite.
Now I said, when you go to the bench, like even though they lost last night, I have enjoyed when they've gone to the bench how I'm not nearly as nervous as I used to be.
Yes.
Right? You got a gritty, hardworking kid in Michael Scott. You got James Ennis, who in the first game comes out and bangs a couple huge corner threes against Denver.
Yeah.
Jonathan Simmons, I think, is a kid that just fell out of favor. I think he's got some, he's a Spurs guy. He knows the Spurs system. He knows Brett Brown. I think it's all good stuff that what they got there.
It's really good stuff.
All right. Okay.
I'm sorry. I've been fighting with people on Twitter for the last 15
24 hours. Yeah.
It's miserable.
They come out of the gates, they play a close game with the Nuggets and then blow it open at the end and end up winning by close to 20.
Yeah.
They drop 140 on the Lakers, who just suck. The Lakers are so bad.
The Lakers are so bad.
The only reason that game was close early
because of freaking Kyle Kuzma was falling out all over the place.
He couldn't stop scoring. It was the only reason.
He's really good.
He is.
I like him a lot.
I like Kyle Kuzma. Going to be a really good player.
Yeah. I like watching him play. I think he's really good.
And look, what you saw from there was that every time substitutions are made, you still got two of your starters out there. And I think as the season winds down, you get toward the playoffs, it's going to be more like three of your starters out there.
Yeah.
And we're going to mix and match these other guys. Mm-hmm. I don't know how. I do not know how fans of the process who were as patient as any fan base I've ever seen has become the most impatient fan base out of any I've ever seen. 3 games where there are 7 or 5 new pieces. 3 games where there are 6 new pieces. And we're going to do this right now. This is what we're going to do. We're going to jump and say, oh, the rotations still suck. Can we give it time? You don't look. I put it out there. I will read you my 3 tweets from today.
You find your tweets. I just think they won those first 2, and everyone got so excited and spoiled immediately that all of a sudden one loss happens and it's the end of the world. They've had what? 2 practices together? Mm-hmm. 3, maybe 4. Come on, seriously?
You ready? This is how I started my morning 6 hours ago.
I can't wait.
With these 3 tweets. The Fire Brett crowd is loud and proud today. So to translate, the jackasses are out today. Wonder where they were against the Warriors, the Nuggets, when they dropped 140, etc. Let me make this clear. You have no basketball knowledge if you go lazy after every loss and want to fire the coach. Followed shortly thereafter. Since it's the loud minority who always goes, fire the coach, that's why I will continue to be loud in my insults. They say Brett can't be criticized. This is what those people say. They say Brett can't be criticized. Why can't people criticize how Horford owns Joel Embiid? I mean, Embiid himself said he wasn't that good. How's that the coach again? Thanks. And don't get me wrong, I love Joel Embiid. But there is a difference between criticizing and being a no-knowledge jackass just trying to get rid of someone because it's an easy argument. Go to another team if that's what you're going to do. You are not wanted here. And my final rant, Tobias 0 for 6 from 3 with a few very good looks. Jimmy misses 3 late free throws, which is rare.
Didn't Jimmy Butler miss a total of 5 free throws
in the game?
Yeah,
I think
because he missed the 1 on the front end of that first 3, the 2 on the second.
They're the 3 that I think
and
of.
there were 2 that he missed earlier as well.
Well,
and Ben was starting to miss. Ben's been really
and he
great
was 2 for 7.
Ben's been really good from the free throw line as of late.
Right.
And
I said that sounds like players to me. Does Brad and the Celtics have the Sixers number and Brett Brown? Yes. Does it need to change? Yes. And in all caps with an exclamation point. But stop firing the coach after every loss, jackass.
For some reason, I think that all of the idiots in Philadelphia think that Brett Brown operates the real live NBA basketball games like a game of 2K, like he has a controller in his hand and he's actually physically doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing for them. I think that's what people genuinely think.
High school basketball.
Because I don't understand how I mean, I tweeted the picture of it. Tobias Harris absolutely missed JJ Redick on that final play. Absolutely missed him. He was like, oh, well, he wasn't going to get that shot off with Marcus Smart closing it. Do you know JJ Redick?
The one guy
he would have gotten the freaking shot off,
The one guy from 94-1, Andrew Porter, when Spike Eskin made this point, the guy Andrew Porter said, oh, well, look at Tobias. He's looking at Embiid the whole time. That's where the play had to go. It's called use basketball sense. Sometimes you have to deviate. And maybe what Brett said was, if you have Joel in the post, look for it. But don't forget about JJ. He forgot about JJ.
And guess what? That's what happens when you've only been playing together for 3 games, jackasses.
There's a reason why the Sixers have had 4 3-second offensive violations in the first 3 games.
Yeah.
It's new. It's all new.
Right. And getting it to flow better, that is on Brett Brown. But you can't expect that to happen. Think about how long it took to get Jimmy Butler in the flow of things. It took, 30 games?
And I don't think he's still in the flow.
And I think they still need work on it. I think they still need work gelling with it. So everyone needs to just freaking chill. And I tweeted this out earlier as well. Firing Brett Brown is giving up on the season.
Yes, it is.
We have talked about this on the show several times, that firing a coach midway through the year is waving the white flag and saying, okay, we quit on this season. We'll talk about it again next year. Well, how freaking dumb would that be to trade for Jimmy Butler, trade for Tobias Harris, bring in some of these other guys, and then quit on the season? How stupid is that? When two of the biggest pieces that you brought in are free agents at the end of the year. Think about how dumb that is. You bring them in, you want to keep them here, and then say, oh, well, we're going to fire the coach and quit on the season. That is not the way to get them to re-sign here. And until you have these players in the locker room turning on Brett Brown and not supporting Brett Brown, I'll tell you how I know that Brett Brown has this locker room 100%. Anyone can blame Brett Brown all they want, but at the end of the day, you have the players coming out and sitting there saying, I was stupid, I played like an idiot, I was sleepwalking through 3 quarters, I did not play well, this is on me. They're not saying anything else, subtly hinting at anything else. It's obvious when players believe that it's the coach. It is beyond obvious. And that is not how this team is operating. And I'll tell you what.
See the LA Lakers.
You fire Brett Brown, you lose this locker room. We've talked about this before too. Even if you were to bring in somebody like a Steve Kerr or a Brad Stevens, there's no guarantee that this core group of guys would respect these coaches, and they might just resent them and resent the program and be pissed off and be like,
look, it's very simple. Okay, I have firmly believed now that it is a minority who feel this way, but the minority always wants to be the loudest one in the room, because they know they're the minority. And if you put polls up or you look at polls when they say, should they fire Brett Brown, more people than not are saying no. Okay? More people than not get it. More people than not understand he's a good coach. Is Brett Brown a great coach? I don't believe so at this point. Can he become one? Maybe. But Brett Brown knows basketball. For anyone to say he doesn't know basketball, you're a jackass. Okay? That's number one. There is literally... What are you looking at?
What?
What happened?
Jake Arrieta had knee surgery last month.
Yeah, but he'll be back for the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but Jesus. What?
It was just to clean it out a little bit. It was a little clean out.
Oh, my God.
It Let's all clean it. You made me think that they signed Bryce Harper with that face.
Oh, no. You would have seen me start jumping up and down and doing cartwheels
Damn
back
you.
here. Anyway.
Damn you.
We were talking about Brett Brown.
I'm so mad at you.
What'd I do?
I will say this, okay? At the end of the season, if the Sixers management decides we need a new voice, there's only one person who I would sit at the day that they sign that coach that I would say, all right, I'm willing to play this one out.
Who?
His name is Brad Stevens. His name is Brad Stevens. Because Brad Stevens, this is why the Celtics own the Sixers. He knows how to take advantage of mismatches. And whenever there's one out there, he takes advantage of it.
Yeah.
I counted at least 5 times where somehow or another TJ McConnell ended up on Al Horford or Jaylen Brown. That wasn't by accident.
Right.
Okay? He knows how to slow Ben Simmons down, and Ben Simmons allows him to do it, which means the Sixers are not getting out of transition, which means the Sixers are struggling offensively. Okay? He knows how to get JJ into bad situations. He is the king of the inbounds play. Okay? And right now, he has Brett's number. There's no doubting that. I'm not sitting here telling you, no, this is all on the players. Brett played a role in that last night too. But the players
He doesn't
did
need
too.
to lose his job over it.
If Tobias Harris goes 2 for 6 from 3 last night instead of 0 for 6,
They win the game.
Sixers win the game.
Jimmy
If
Butler
Jimmy
makes free throws down the
makes
stretch.
3 free throws, it's at least tied.
Yeah.
Okay?
He makes 5.
If he makes his 3 and Ben makes 2 more, they win the game by 2. That game, and I know we said this all last year too during the playoffs. Oh, they were 1 or 2 possessions away. No. They're getting beat.
Yeah.
And they're getting beat a lot by the Boston Celtics. But I do believe, even though some people said, no, I don't think he was doing it. I think there's a part where Brett Brown is trying to figure it all out. I also think there's things that Brett wants to do that he's not going to show you until round 1 of the playoffs. Okay? I firmly believe that. I firmly believe you're going to see Jimmy bringing the ball up a lot more in those situations.
Especially against
I
the
firmly
Celtics.
believe Furkan Korkmaz is not going to see the floor. I firmly believe TJ's minutes will be diminished. Okay? TJ, look, he does a lot. I thought he played well last night, but he's a defensive liability. I mean, he just is.
Yeah.
He just is. And when you get a smart coach like Brad Stevens, who takes advantage of that and somehow gets him matched up on Al freaking Horford, there's going to be problems. Oh, by the way, okay, so I've just criticized Brett Brown.
Yes.
I've criticized him. He's got to do better against these teams. He's got to find a way.
Yep.
Not you don't fire him.
No.
But for the people who want to just rip Brett, they don't want to rip Joel Embiid.
No. And
And I'm not going to rip Joel Embiid.
No.
But
Because
Al
at the end
Horford
of the
owns his
day,
ass.
at the end of the day, he still had
Yes.
25.
But Al Horford
and
owns his ass.
14. Like,
Okay? He was not out at the 3-point line last night because of Brett Brown. He was out of the 3-point line because he gets frustrated, and that's what he does. He should never take 8 threes in a game. Ever. I never want Joel Embiid to shoot 8 threes in a game. His max has to be 5, and he shouldn't even get to that. Ever.
unless he's feeling himself and he's
No.
hot from all. I disagree.
You're not shooting. No, I don't want my 7'4" guy.
If Joel is not missing and if he takes four threes and makes all of them, you don't want him to take that fifth?
No, because the numbers tell me.
Okay.
The numbers tell
Gabe.
me.
Okay,
The
Gabe.
numbers in
All right,
basketball
Gabe.
tell me he ain't
enough
going to
out of
hit the
you,
next
Gabe.
4.
That's enough out of you, Gabe.
No, he needs to be in the post. And what
I
happens
understand
is
that.
he
but if
uses
he
it as a
can shoot them
frustration.
and they're going in, why the hell not?
When has he ever shot 50% shooting 8 threes?
I don't know.
I'll tell you when. Never.
I just said to you, if he takes 4 and makes all of them, why would you not want him to take the
If
fifth?
I walk outside and there's $1 million, am I going to take it? Yeah, it's a hypothetical.
That was the
speaking in
dumbest comparison you've ever
You're speaking in
That was the
hypotheticals.
dumbest thing I think
You're
you've ever
speaking
said.
in hypotheticals.
Take a lap because that was the dumbest thing that
it's
you've
the
ever
exact
said.
same thing. Are you going to turn down $1 million? No. Are you going to turn down Joel Embiid hitting 8 3-pointers out of 8? No. But the chances of it happen, very minuscule.
Sure, but don't say that you never want to see him take 5 threes because if he is making them,
not what I said.
why not?
That's not what I said. I said what did I say? I said his max number is 5, and
he shouldn't even take that many.
And I'd rather
that is
him
what
not,
you just said.
And I'd rather him not.
That is what you just said.
What I said was I didn't want to see him shoot 8 ever again.
You said he should take at max 5, and I don't even want to see him get to that many. That is what you just said.
I'd
so
rather
don't go back and tell me that you didn't say things that you just said.
I'd rather him not get to 5. It should be 3 or 4 a game.
That's all fine.
But the max number should be is 5.
But at the end of the day, you have to understand that if they are down in a game, Joel Embiid is the kind of player that he's going to put that responsibility on himself. And that's a maturity thing that he's going to have to figure out.
Then why have Tobias, JJ, Jimmy out there?
Did you not hear what I just
said? Yes, I heard, but my whole thing is he can't do that.
I understand that, but that's a maturity thing. The guy's 24 years old. He's been playing basketball for less than 10 years.
I'm aware of everything you're saying.
Part of it is he feels, and when he's not playing well, he feels the responsibility all fully on his shoulders. And we saw that last night. He felt responsible for where they were. He felt responsible for the fact that they were down. He felt responsible because they were losing because of the way he's playing. He's not going to sit there and be like, oh, well, we also have Jimmy and Tobias and they have to shoulder some of it too. No. He feels responsible, so he is going to do what he thinks he needs to do, which is shoot more threes, which I agree with you. He shouldn't do. But that's also what happened to the Sixers in the playoffs last year when they were playing the Celtics. All of a sudden, they were getting down, and everybody was just jacking up shots from behind the arc. And it was ridiculous because they literally were living and dying by the three-point shot. It was ridiculous how many threes we watched them take and miss in the Celtics series last year. So that's not what needs to happen. They have to learn that they need to run the offense. And yes, that does fall somewhat on Brett too, that he needs to make sure that happens. And Joel and the rest of the team, they're not just waiting from beyond the three-point line. I am in agreement with you. But I'm not saying that I see where he's coming from and I don't agree with it. But I also see that when the last couple started to fall, yeah, they needed him in the last 4 minutes.
Okay. That was great when those two fell.
Yes, it was fantastic.
They're down 2 or 3 in the game, or might even be tied, and they get a stop. And they come down slightly in transition, and he jacks a 3.
That was a dumb shot.
Horrible shot.
Awful. But he was also not the only one doing that. Tobias did that a couple times too, late in the game when he hadn't hit anything.
I understand that he hadn't hit anything, but that's Tobias's role.
I understand that, but it's also when you can't just be jacking up shots when you're closing out the game.
But here's the thing. Legitimate shooter. I don't look at Joel Embiid and call him a legitimate shooter.
Sure.
Okay? It's a philosophy of mine as a coach, as a fan, as everything. If you're a legitimate shooter, which in that category on the Sixers, my shooters are JJ, Tobias, and late in the game, Jimmy, because Jimmy's a closer shooter, right?
Minus when he's at the free throw line.
Yeah. In my opinion, if you are in that category, and only if you are in that category, you have to, in the course of a game especially, you have to take bad shots. You need to take a couple bad threes because that's what you do, right? Like JJ, sometimes you look at JJ and go, oh man, but he has to. That's who he is. So I'm okay if a guy who is labeled a shooter takes a bad 3. I'm not okay if a guy who can hit the occasional 3 or the occasional 2 threes takes a bad 3. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. That's where my problem comes in.
I don't think all the ones Joel took last night were bad ones.
Not saying that they were.
The ones that I'm okay with him taking are the ones where he catches it and shoots it in rhythm. When he stops and thinks about it and then is like, meh.
Or in a transition, in a major part of a game in transition, you don't shoot it. What frustrates me, and I agree with you, it comes with maturation, it comes with getting older. But when someone takes him out of his game, and it just so happens that it was happening against Valanciunas, it was happening against Al Horford, they're the two that stick out.
Right.
He'll go down there, but not as much. He stays outside by that line. And what pisses me off is months ago when he made that comment is he doesn't want to be out there. He only wants to shoot 2 threes a game. And everybody went, there it is. That's Brett Brown. Watch the friggin' game. It's not. It's Joel is making that decision to be out there.
Yeah.
That's what frustrates me.
Yeah.
That frustrates me almost as much as Ben not shooting. Sometimes. Like,
we-
loved him
wait.
against LA. Loved it against LA.
Can we talk? Can we talk about it for a second? Can we talk about the 3-pointer for a second? That was the best moment of my life. And it would have been
almost
even
went down,
better. If that would have went down, I would have
went
turned
down,
off the
too.
game and just been like, I'm done. This is it. I've seen it all.
It
It was
almost went
insane.
down.
I could not believe that he took the shot. And my favorite part was after the game when JJ was like, I wasn't surprised. And Joel
Joel
went,
went, "You sure?"
Are you sure?
2 games in a row, we had tremendous press conferences.
Tremendous.
That involved JJ Redick. JJ with Jimmy and then JJ with Joe.
JJ Redick should be a Sixer forever based on the fact that they said something. I don't even remember what the question was. And he looked at him and went, did you see some of the shots I made tonight? Because that's the greatest thing that JJ Redick has ever said.
The best thing, that whole thing was great because Jimmy's like, oh, there was that one time and he went, I ran around in a circle.
And he was like, but you were open.
But you were open.
And let's talk about Mr. Locker Room Cancer, Jimmy Butler. Did anyone else see Christian Crosby's Instagram story last
Singing
night before
country?
the game? Well, there was that. But last night, so Christian Crosby does this thing where for those of you who don't know, Christian Crosby is the gentleman who, what is his title? Like, he's the in-game announcer, not in-game announcer, but he's on the floor for the Sixers games before. He's doing all the different contests and stuff. Awesome.
And hopefully be on the
personality.
show soon.
Hopefully. Awesome personality, awesome individual. But
Same with the NBA All-Star this weekend, right?
yeah, he is the host of, he's the in-game host. That's what he is. He's the host for All-Star Saturday night. So you'll see him in Charlotte because he also made the All-Star game. And he does before the game while they're warming up, he always goes and bothers TJ McConnell. Which is just his thing. And he was talking to TJ, and Jimmy was standing behind TJ, bouncing the basketball off the back of TJ's head the entire time. And
Wait, is this on Instagram?
yeah, it's on Christian Crosby's Instagram story, and he turned around and started yelling at him. And Jimmy was like, I'm sorry. And they like hugged, and it was really cute. And I was just like, oh, Jimmy. It made my
How
heart
can
happy.
I check Christian's story? I want to see it.
You find Christian, and then you hit the...
I'm friends with Christian.
Okay, but you have to hit the little...
Oh.
Oh, God.
Got
Boy.
it.
Technology.
Okay, I'm watching as we're...
But anyway, I just think... What were we talking about before we got into that? Oh, the press conferences. Ben Simmons 3. That was fantastic. And it was one of those things where it looked like Ben was bringing the ball up a little bit slower than usual. So we're sitting on the couch, kind of adjusting the way we're sitting and pulling up a blanket or doing whatever. And all of a sudden you see the ball go up and you're like, oh my God, what just happened? And you're like, oh my God, Ben Simmons just shot a 3-pointer and it almost went in. If that thing would have gone in, that would have been insane.
Did you see the way that LeBron was covering Ben?
That was so disrespectful.
Disrespectfully.
But funny.
He basically
But
was
I
just
thought
like,
it was
you won't.
hysterical.
And he did. But it
It
shame.
was actually really fun. I mean, it was disrespectful, but it was funny.
It was funny.
You know what else was funny?
LeBron's only scoring 18 points.
No, with 3 seconds after the game, LeBron just walking off the court. That was funny.
That was funny.
Love seeing that.
Magic left a whole 2 minutes. Should we talk about Magic?
No, Magic's in my... Well, we can because we are running out of show and we haven't even got to This Is Madness yet.
Oh, boy. You're right. We are. Wow.
But hey, just chill out, ladies and gentlemen.
Relax.
Let's see how this plays out. I really hope, for God's sake, for my sake, I'm telling you right now, if the Sixers blow tonight, I'm not going on Twitter for the next week. I'm not going on. I will not go on. You will have to do all the uploading of things because I will not deal with what I will hear if they lose. I want them to beat this freaking team by 150 points tonight. I want the final score to be 185-30.
I want Joel to get DeAndre to foul out. I want it all. I want all of the things.
I just hate that the team's lost 16 in a row. I hate that it's the game before the All-Star break.
Yeah.
I hate all of that. I don't even know. I got to look at what the line is. While I'm doing that, why don't we get into This Is Madness? I know you have a story to tell. I know Patrick has a story to tell. And then I'll run through my couple real quick.
So I was at the Wings game on Saturday night covering their game here. They played the Colorado Mammoth. They lost, which was unfortunate, but Wings games are super fun. I highly recommend that everyone go to a Wings game. They play music the entire time. It's super exciting, super fun, and lacrosse is a pretty cool sport to watch too. If you like the energy of hockey or the energy of a basketball game kind of up and down the floor, you will absolutely enjoy a lacrosse game. And they're professional, so they're talented. It's not like watching high school lacrosse or, anyway. But so they were doing, it was their Valentine's themed game. So they had, all like little clips of the team talking about their celebrity crushes from when they were little, or, had them on the screen in little Valentine's cards. But they ran a contest during one of the timeouts or something, and it was a girl and her boyfriend, and they picked out 2 random guys from the crowd as well, and they blindfolded her, and she had to touch the faces of the guys and pick which one was her boyfriend.
Oh.
And
I don't like that game. I'd have left. I would have been out of there in a freaking heartbeat.
I like that game, and
my shoe fell off. Sorry.
She picked the wrong one. How funny is that? She was like feeling the face, and she literally felt her boyfriend's face, and you could tell which one was her boyfriend because when they blindfolded her, he like put his hand on her back and like led her away, and then they shuffled him around after that. But you knew which one it was, and she like felt his face and was like, "No, that's not it." And he was like,
that Valentine's Day was just ruined.
So funny.
Just ruined Valentine's Day.
So funny. And I'm watching it happen. I'm like, oh my God, she's about to pick the wrong one. Because she felt the guy she picked, she felt his face first. She's like, oh, this is the one. And Mark Farzetta was like, oh, you should feel all of them first. You should feel all their faces first. And she felt, and she was like, he goes, all right, pick which one by giving the one a kiss on the cheek. And it was the wrong one. And I died laughing. I died laughing.
Mark.
It was so funny.
Mark.
It was
Next
so
time we
funny.
talk with Mark, I got to bring this story up.
Oh my God, it was so funny. It was fantastic.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was good.
I feel bad. I feel bad for that girl.
And it was funny because he like, I don't know if he was serious or what, like kind of like, stomped away, and she was like trying to like get his. Oh God, it was funny. It was funny.
That night was ruined.
So funny.
That was not a fun night for that couple.
It couldn't have been.
I'm sure when they went home, it was pretty ugly.
It's funny though.
If Joe picked the wrong face, what's your reaction?
I'd kill him.
Okay, so shut up with it's funny. You are a evil woman. It's evil.
I wouldn't pick the wrong one though. I'm very confident that I would feel all the different facial hair.
I'd have no freaking clue.
But it's different because men have facial hair. So she picked the other guy that had a beard similar, but her boyfriend had a hat on. All she had to do was feel the top of his head.
Oh, she's cheating.
Oh, she literally.
She has.
They had the same.
She's got a guy on the side.
They had the same beard. Like it looked relatively similar to how it would feel. I mean, it was they had different color hair, but it looked like it would feel like a similar scruffiness. But her boyfriend had a hat. Like all she had to do was feel up a little bit further. Come on. Oh.
There were so many innuendos in what you just said.
Okay, that's enough out of you. That's enough. That's enough. Enough.
You know,
Patrick?
you like a good innuendo joke.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
act like you don't.
What's your story?
If you said that, you would have enjoyed that too.
Yeah.
Did you see the Bradley Beal travel the other day?
Yes. Bye, Rob.
I actually just took less steps than Bradley Beal did in that maneuver, and I took 6.
The fact that wasn't called was ridiculous. And then did you go on to see the tweet saying
They defended it.
They defended it, and then somebody else came out, the VP of this, and said, "No, that was a travel. You can't catch your own shot if it's unless it was going towards the basket. Like it's like a." But it was never a shot. He was never shooting. And he stepped 4 or 5 times.
They tried to say that he lost possession of the ball, then got it, then remained on his pivot foot.
I want to know how that's not a walk, and they called Ben Simmons for a walk when he's being grabbed, backing guy down last night. That's what I want to know.
There were 3 calls last night that really, it was that one.
The Joel Embiid across the arms.
The non-call on Joel Embiid, and then when Marcus Smart took JJ Redick by the arm and threw him this way to the ground. That as well as an offensive foul. I couldn't understand.
Yeah.
It didn't get called.
Yeah. Officiating was not good last night. It was very ironic.
They borrowed the refs from the Patriots.
It was very ironic because someone put out a picture of Joel Embiid's last shot against Aaron Baines last year where he came down across his 2 arms. It was the same exact thing, and they did not call it either time.
Yep.
Did not call it either time. It's an absolute stone cold foul.
I support Joel Embiid and everything he said in his
Ben's walk was not a walk. And
I
they're
will
two-
donate to the GoFundMe for his fine.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It was a great line. It was awesome.
Fantastic.
It's an awesome way to end the press conference. So yeah, I was not happy with them.
When they do things on Twitter like that, so I know that the refs respond to things now, but for example, like Bradley Beal responded to it and then
Laughed.
and
With a laughing
laughed.
face.
And Blake Griffin responded and was like, did Bradley Beal hack the Twitter? Like, will they get in trouble for that? Or is that, do you think they'll get fined for things
No,
like that?
I
or
think
will that
that's
be
just
okay?
that'll be an innocent joke. I don't think there'll be any fine there. But when
I would
you say,
hope so, because I think that's kind of
I just think when the referees bleeping suck, that's going to probably draw a fine.
that'll be a fine. It'll probably be around $25,000, which is nothing for a man making as much as Joel is. And Joel doesn't spend his money either.
Yeah. All right.
So-
Let me touch on these two things real quick. We'll touch on Magic last. First thing, Dietz and Watson been a company. What you got there?
Oh, it's just Sam Decker's reply to the refs.
What do you say?
He goes, even if he lost control, it's still travel to pass or shoot it to yourself. Y'all got this one wrong. It's okay to be wrong. Brad knows it was a walk. And a ref told me to learn the rules the other day.
Oh, and the NFL has yet to say that they made the wrong call in the NFC Championship game. No. Dietz and Watson, very famous company in our area, right? Makes a lot of stuff. I think they make hot dogs and all other stuff. They have a new product on the market.
They saw that.
Okay, and I think, what is it, the product that, don't give me a name. I want to know what the product actually is. It's like little
Sausages.
like little sausages that you can eat out of a bag.
I don't know who would want to do that, but it's neither here nor there.
In a world where
Oh boy.
where we are becoming more apologetic for everything that we say.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little overboard, sometimes not a little overboard. Dietz and Watson decided that the name of this new disgusting product would be called, and you saw a Super Bowl ad for it, Dietz Nuts.
My
Listen to
mom
me.
texted me immediately
Listen
after
to
that
me.
commercial.
Listen to me.
She goes, Jess, these nuts. And I died just because of her text.
Listen. I don't want to go into the grocery store, my 3-year-olds that'll be 5 at some point and can read, and have them go, Dad, can I get a bag of Dietz Nuts? I don't want to do it. I don't want to do this. I don't want to have this happen.
God.
This is the most absurd thing I've ever seen. And I feel bad. I just heard on the way here, Mama Dietz has passed away.
She passed away this week.
Jamie Lynch is very sad. Did you ever hear the whole thing where like Jamie Lynch like is attracted to Mama Dietz? Like they made this whole big thing up, like it was hysterical.
I'll have to go look at it.
But there's no way in my mind, Mama before she passed, okay, Dietz Nuts. Oh my God. I can't do this. I cannot be okay with this. I cannot, as a parent to 2 daughters, think of anybody's daughters going into a store and buying a bag.
That's what I'm going to get you for your birthday.
Buying a bag of Dietz Nuts. What the hell is going on?
What?
Valentine's Day.
Yeah. That's your Valentine's Day gift.
If
I'm going to get you a bag of Dietz nuts.
Is it marketing genius? Probably.
Yes.
Probably.
The answer to your question, yes.
It is.
It is.
But my God, come on.
Oh my God.
I swear to God, man. Like, you can't say anything in this world, but Dietz Nuts is okay?
I couldn't even get a couple years ago. You know when they have the Coke promotion. It was the share a Coke with whoever, and you could order one. So my one of my really good friends, she loves Coke products. So she gets like the fancy bottles from places and things like that. So I was gonna order one with her name on it because she could never find one for her birthday, and I was gonna order one for my other friend that said D's Nuts on it, and they wouldn't let me put it in because they said it was too inappropriate. But Dietz and Watson can make a whole ass
Let me
product.
put there's this game out there for students called Kahoot, where kids get to make their own names, right? Like, and you put it up on the board so everybody sees who's getting the points. It's like a quiz game.
Okay.
And as a teacher, you can delete a name if it's inappropriate.
Right.
If someone put Dietz Nuts up there,
It's gone.
I'm taking it down. I'm taking it the hell down. This is absurd. All right, I have to move on because we have literally 6 minutes left in the show.
Yep.
But my God. All right, Magic Johnson.
Jack.
Now look. I'm one of these guys that I don't think it's as big a deal as people are making it from
No.
the standpoint that, calling a Hall of Famer who was known as a larger point guard.
Yeah.
All that stuff. What I think is the jackass move, the snake move, is when no one asks you about that
And he brought
you
it up
decide to bring it up anyway.
Yeah.
What's he doing? 2 things. A, tampering.
Yes.
You're a tampering ass.
For the second time in 2 weeks.
I know the NBA said he wasn't, and I get what you're saying. He technically wasn't, and I didn't like that Elton Brand had to come out and apologize and do that whole crap. That wasn't right. I don't think he should have apologized. I don't think he did anything wrong. He said, so-and-so called me. I said no. End of story.
Yeah.
That's it. Number 2, what you're trying to do is get the media coverage of how you screwed up the trade deadline off of that and on to something else.
Yep.
And that's what I have an issue with. And I also have an issue because there's never just a time where Magic is just doing something out of the goodness of his heart. There's always an end game. Hence why he went to Vegas, apparently, or to speak with representatives of Bryce Harper. Okay? Magic isn't a jackass. I hate Magic Johnson. I hate LA. I hate everything they stand for, which is fake, fraudulent, and jackassery. Okay?
Yep.
And Magic is the president of that club.
Yes.
And now I'm done.
I
Great
support
show.
it.
Good show.
That was a good show.
Patrick, we're glad to have you back. Hopefully we see you again soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Good luck with school and all that other stuff. All right, real quick. This week, 267-752-5743. Call the number, leave a voicemail. We'll talk about it next week. Listen to us, wildfireradio.com at 9 to 11 on Friday mornings. Okay? YouTube, Madness Podcast. Shop.prosportsnotes.com. Get the new shirts. I'm going on as soon as I get home because I think I've resubmitted my funds. And I'm going to buy a couple shirts. What am I missing, Jess? What am I missing?
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter. 500 followers on Instagram, 1,000 on Twitter. Choosing one from each. Free item. We will be back next week, whether it's a basement or here. We love you. Embrace the madness. Have a great week.